Does everybody know what time it is?
Yes, it is time for Fast Markets. And look who we've got here today. Trades by Matt. Hello, Matt.
How's it
and
going?
Also, Andre and Michael are back. And yeah, John is still here.
TBM. Guys, I'm glad to be back. We got Trades by Matt. We have pretty much been wanting to hang out with you, Matt, for quite a long time. So this is a great, a good old boys section today of around talking shop.
Giddy up. Giddy up. Hey, for those that don't know who Matt is, Matt's been day trading for 8 years, starting in stocks and crypto, moving to futures exclusively in 2019 and realizing that it could be his path to leaving his 9-to-5 project manager job. So yes, you did start this very popular channel, Trades by Matt, and we're very happy to have you here with us for your first time. Welcome aboard, sir.
Let's get into it today, and we're going to talk all about Matt, and he's the first mover in the YouTube.
And world. Markets are open. Let's get it going here.
Okay, guys, I'm coming back from a vacay, so always when you come back from a vacay, for me, take it a little bit slower. So that's
how I am too, Michael. I was sick all last week, so it was like yesterday was my first day back after 4 or 5 days.
Do you watch the markets when you're sick?
Nope. I had a massive migraine. I couldn't even open my eyes. It was crazy.
So migraines and digital screens don't mix. I know that.
Right.
All right, everything.
Base hits yesterday.
Okay, so you did trade yesterday. All right,
I traded yesterday. Yeah.
I was on some flights yesterday. All right.
What I should have done yesterday was take base hits. I was looking for more.
John, speaking of looking for more, John, I'm looking for something this week, but I need your help.
Yeah.
What do you got in the NASDAQ world?
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, Matt, what are you trading? What do you focus on?
Predominantly the NASDAQ. The last 2 months, I've made a return back to crude oil. I used to exclusively trade crude. Then I found the NASDAQ. Well, I was scalping the NAS, and then recently been dabbling a little bit back into crude, but I mean the NAS is what you're gonna see me trading 90% of the time.
Well, when you throw the cowboy hat on, you trade crude. I saw that.
Right.
I got mine over here too. So when you start talking about it, I'll put that in the straw in my mouth.
All right.
I set up the opening range trade for the S&Ps. If it takes out the first minute to the upside, I go long. If it takes out the first minute to the downside, I go short.
Love it.
I did this yesterday. We had a win around for about $350. I should have taken that. I was looking for a little bit more to the downside. It didn't happen, so we ended up taking a loss on that one. But I'm taking the opening range trade every day, because last week, if we took the opening range trade every day and held it to the close, we would have killed it.
Huge winners last week.
New situation. The market is out of balance, so I'm seeing some liquidity to the upside. So I'm hoping I get filled on this buy stop above the opening range. If it takes it out, we'll be long. It's a 6-handle opening range, so we're looking at 7 handles of risk.
Okay.
Now I got to move my stop a little bit lower, and we're long. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm long from 11. I'm long from 11 quarter. Just the one guy out of the gate.
And that NASDAQ took out the low of the opening range. The S&P took out the high of the opening range. I hate it when that happens.
Okay, so can you go to your NASDAQ just so everybody can see opening range, they can see, and then what do you mean? So it comes out of the gate, opening range. If it does what, you like to do what, vice versa.
Okay, so this is the NASDAQ profile. This gold bar here represents the range for the first minute of trade. That's the first minute of trade. So we see the NASDAQ took out the low of the opening range. We would be short the NASDAQ here if we were going to be playing the opening range trade.
Okay, yeah, I got out
at 15,804.
Okay, 804. Yeah, I got out of my 11s at 9. 11 quarters, I got out at 9. Quick, light and tight out of the gate.
That was a winner?
No. That was a 4 tick loser.
So now here's
4 handle loser. $80.
Just took out the low of the opening range. I just had my first loss of the day.
Me too.
Okay. So maybe you guys are the early birds. I'll show up I'll show up a little late right now.
Well, the market's out of balance, so I'm looking for something to happen right off the open. And
with the number, we got to keep everything. Everything's just changed, like we were talking right before we got on.
I got back in at 95s.
You're long?
Yeah, because you guys got stopped out.
Yeah.
No, and I still liked it from the long side.
Slow down, kid. You'll hurt yourself.
Oh shit! Actually, I'm still in. I had my stop far enough away.
Oh, look at you! Look at you! The market heard you, and then.
Well, that's why you got to move your stop. Just a few ticks outside the low of the opening range, because it comes down there and takes out those stops all the time.
Sure does.
All right, just picked up 20 handles. All right, cool.
So 85s.
It's fun hearing y'all talking about trading. I typically wait for 10-15 minutes just to let everything kind of shake out a little bit.
That's smart.
We're psychopaths over here, Matt.
Yeah, so it's fun hearing people talking about trading the open. I'll do it every now and then, but it's very, very rare.
Well, it's usually something that I do as well, but the market opened out of range and out of balance. So sometimes your best trade locations happen really early in the session. And Matt, I can show you, we'll do this later on. I want to show you the way up. The opening range was at the bottom of the range for like 3 straight days. If we would have taken those trades and gotten out at the close, we would have made on one contract probably about $6,000 a week ago.
That's the power of futures right there.
So something that's I don't know if y'all know the actual stats on it, because I don't, but we retrace CPI so often. And so I get into this mentality on days like this, and this is obviously a pretty big one, like 200-ish, 250 points or whatever. But I typically have to just like force myself to be patient on days like this, because I get into like a nasty bias of like, we're just gonna retrace CPI. Like we got tons of juice down into into VWAP, plenty of liquidity, 750, 780s, and typically I just have to like pump the brakes.
I like that play. I always call it dipping my toe in the water out of the gate. That was just a one lot, a one car. So yeah, that's kind of my and then I have a 20 handle stop. So kind of out of the gate, I like to get a feel. So I got long up there and I quickly got out, and then the market kind of pushed on the longs a bit. But it's moving. But I totally like your approach. I mean, ideally that is the approach that I like. I just like to get that little one lot in there and get a feel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If we get a little heavy here, I like 20 to 80 rotations like a lot on the NAS. I don't know if y'all pay attention to that either. That's like, I love, it's so random. I don't know why. Again, like most of my stuff, I don't know why. Just it's like things I noticed. But yeah, the NAS will rotate 20 to 80 so often. So like we're in the 820s right now. If we get a little flush, like 780s looks pretty good to me because we got juice down there.
To continue to the downside or
a little downside move. But I mean, we have like what, 200? We got 60 up at overnight highs sitting on the books at 840. Probably gets run.
60s, 40s, 25s.
Hey, Mike, what's your P&L?
I got short one a little early right now. I do like it from the short side up here. I like this little range that it's playing. It's extended the range to the downside, but I'm a little early on the and it's just been since the pop in the open. So I'm looking at if it's one of those. So my P&L is like 400, 300 something. I'm looking forward to kind of play a little sideways game
today.
No, just out of the gate.
Yeah.
Morning.
I think everybody's looking for something big.
The big already happened.
Yeah.
Big already happened.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, you still got a lot of dust, and you got a lot of noise still.
For sure.
Remember, it's best to be flat and let the dust settle before putting a position on.
Thank you, Robert.
Is that Shatner?
He's always, dude, all last week, he's been busting out the good ones lately.
I got some real good ones. You wait.
Quick reminder, this is just a huge number for rate expectations. So yes, you may say the move has happened, but I don't think we can emphasize enough that people are moving in their ideas as far as when they're going to cut in like March, which a few weeks ago seemed not the case.
I think everyone's recalculating their forecast right now, trying to figure it out, like you're saying, Jack. They're going to thread this needle, aren't they?
So I got out right away and then got back in. I sold 25s, covered 30s, and just sold 2 at 40, 38s. It's getting a little heavy on the tilt, but this is a light and tight hold.
BM in chat says, get ready to short gold. BM, tell us why.
Why are we short gold?
Are we getting ready to short gold?
We like the whys in life. All right. We'll
Got a
get out. We'll
300 sitting here
Where'd you see
at
that? at?
850.
Oh, you. How deep can you go? See, I can only go, and now on Topstep X we can go like 100 deep. So I'll be switching over here very soon when we connect it to live, which is very soon. But where you see it at the 50 level?
Yeah, I'm using Sierra right now. I have Topstep X on the side, but yeah,
312 offered at 850.
the Denali feed.
That's liquidity.
That's liquidity. Kind of like that area too. 850.
There's
What do I have?
266 at 95.
I have the 850s because it's an old high that goes all the way back to the good old days. Hold on.
The good old days. Back in the days.
Back in the good old days, Eddie, September 1st. It's high of that is 55 half. 55 half of the old high.
Is that
That was
swing
kind of
high?
like a big wick, opened, ripped higher on the 1st of September, and then closed lower on the day. Check it out.
From Friday, September the
Yeah, I got
23rd.
smacked off that, huh?
55 half, 855 half. That's that high. That's a key reversal day right there.
Wow.
Key reversal day, eh? Yeah, it was.
How many of us in the chat were long when CPI came out, holding a position? Let us know your positions here right now. I imagine there are a few of us that sort of rode that bull for a nice distance. Let us know.
Hey, did you know I fought a bull last weekend?
Wow. Speaking of that, my
We
goodness.
saw that.
Put it in there. Put it
That
in
was
there.
you?
Effed it up, dude. For
Ride
sure.
the bull,
was you?
fight the bull.
I was in Mexico City at a ranch. And I was at a Bulls game last week, too, all in the same
Wow,
week.
listen to
I
that.
watched the Bulls, then I fought a bull. And
Did you slap the bull?
you know,
No BS.
I don't know what's that. Hey-o. What's that?
That's from what was it? Wild Hogs.
No, what's that? Bow chicken
movie.
wow wow, huh?
Come on.
It's
It's a movie. Wild Hogs. You guys didn't see Wild Hogs?
Yeah, I know
That's a
what you're
good
talking
movie.
about.
Good movie.
Funny.
Are y'all watching Crude at all?
Here's the 300 again. You see that? At the 30s?
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh yeah.
I'll get in front of it at one guy.
I was getting to taking Phil's right. Oh, Phil.
Yep. It moves against
moving.
these guys these 100-lot traders in the NASDAQ have been doing okay. Now, I haven't seen them in the last few days, but they don't take that much heat. By that much heat, the heat means out of the money, or whatever you want to call it. Hold it on to a loser for a bit. Yeah.
Joe Drinnan, if you are here and listening, do you see liquidity above the market in the S&Ps?
Okay, Tilt's only 59% long. The average price of the longs is 17. So longs are in the money by about, 15 handles right now. Matt, I always like to talk about that a bit because, when you're in the money, like 15 or 20 handles or 30 handles, those usually can be around, average folks, like profit taking time.
Right.
Like, we share stats of funded traders and their average, winning trades like 200 to 300, things like that. So if you think about that in the crude in the NASDAQ world,
Right.
that's 20 handles around there.
That makes sense. You see Crude's at 78% on the tilt?
Is it?
Yeah.
So when you're
pumping.
seeing this, I know you keep Topstep X up because Topstep X, which you're trading on Sierra, which is totally cool, guys. We're not looking to change the whole planet here, but there is something very valuable on the, and I'm taking heat on this. So yeah, but I still like it, Dre, because that 30 or that 300 lot put it on at 30.
Talking about those bulls on parade right now, man.
Bulls on parade.
So yeah, I have several different things I'm looking at platform wise. Like I'm executing on Sierra just because it's where my personal is, it's where my funded account is.
Yep.
Topstep X, I'm watching the tilt. So like right now, Crude's at 80.
Yep.
81.
Okay,
I watch zero dated option flows on the SPY. So I have like a deal that I'll watch on kind of like looks at block orders that come through there. And then I look at one more like options like aggregator to kind of help with like where is where are people hedging on options for the day. So those are kind of things that I'm looking at. Everything, I try and keep it pretty thin so that, you know, I don't have to have like a million different sets of eyeballs on everything at once. But I like to look at those types of things.
So right now, will you annotate or make note on your chart? So guys, I got stopped out, but I like the 55s up here still.
What that guy get short? What was that huge order?
300s. Or sorry, 30s.
Okay.
Here's your 55s right here, right now. Hold high.
Hey, Jay, what's your position?
I'm flat right now. Down 250.
All right. Well, we had our poll. Were you long equities into the CPI number?
I wish.
25% said yes. So congratulations. Probably done for the day. And obviously 75% said no. Playing it safe and probably playing it smart. But hey, it's all about you.
I'm short one on crude.
I like that.
Be watching for another push also into like 50, but as of right now, looking for a little fade.
Speaking of fade, I'm coming out of the gate being fadeable.
That's usually me, Michael.
Yeah, still like the 55 range though. It's an old high, but it is 64% long.
Spoos closing in on 4,500.
Big fat round number.
Big fat round number.
Round number, yeah. If it cruises up to 4,500, man, that'll stop me out because that's
incredible, man. 2 weeks ago we were trading 41 something.
2 weeks ago, I was calling your brother saying, "Put me in long-term spoos." It was S&Ps. He's like, "Okay, let's get it going. Just tell me when." I'm like, let me time this one."
Yeah.
Yes, Joe. I am reading you, Joe. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I would like to see the NAS kind of rotate 80 here, 880, and then kind of give a little pullback off of it. But we'll see. That would be kind of where I'm looking at it. I just got green lighted to trade first 15 minutes. That's what I was talking about earlier. So green light myself, watch the 80s, see what happens there. Obviously, I'm short on crude right now.
Yeah,
crude. Oh, you're short crude.
I'm short crude. Yeah.
Yeah, I took a few off.
Okay.
I'm just holding a one lot now.
You short or long?
I'm short. That 300 lot, I still like them. Man, I don't know what's going on. And then we're fairly long in the tilt. I shouldn't really be putting any size on because the tilt hasn't tilted any heavy direction. But it is what it is. It's selling off now that I took 3 off.
Our good friend Anne-Marie Band is with us today, saying the shorts are going to press the charts higher, watching for the 1 minute higher lows to break their cycles before I pick a short. Thank you, Anne-Marie.
And it seems like that's been the theme for a while, right? Shorts been getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. Isn't that what you said?
Equities have been squeezing shorts for 40 years.
For 40 years. I know. Coming from a guy who, where's it at? Who took one of these things, a Topstep bull, and ripped it off to make it a bear. The horn. This one hasn't been paying. And I don't know why I have 3 bulls over there, so I should just be sticking with bullish market. Andre's the one who taught me the market has a natural bid in it.
Yeah. We're seeing it today, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we've been seeing it since I called your brother.
Yeah, I know. John, you still long?
Yeah.
Nice. I was long too. I got stopped up. What do you mean?
Crude.
Gotta move that stop.
You do.
Fix the other side of the opening range when that happens.
Yep.
Yeah, this thing is it's staying fairly strong.
Crude's leaning long. 70-30.
Yeah, it was at 82 just a second ago. I like when we get point and control flips on crude to where you get a ton of volume up at near the high of day, and then the tilt goes 80. That's the
80 is the tipping.
I like it. With you get the 80 tilt with a point and control, like a ton of volume being conducted at the high.
Oh, dude, that's those are indicators. I mean, that's a beautiful setup.
Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about that because an 80 is where I call it. It starts to get tilty.
Right.
Yeah.
And guys, just so everybody knows, when we're saying 80%, that's out of all the open positions that are open at Topstep right now. We have thousands of open positions right now. And it's all our opinions, and we all have opinions right now. You're looking to get short, you're looking to get long. Really, 2 of those things. And when everybody, when I say 80%, when if there's 1,000 open positions, let's just use that number, 800 of them 800 of them are one directional thinking. When a whole group, when a whole herd of people get on the same position, typically in my history, what I've seen, it's not a good time to go with them. Actually, it's a good time to go with the 20%. So people are like, well, you're just fading the 80%. No, I'm not. I'm going with the 20% because that's the harder trade. The ones that see the smaller, that see a different opportunity than the majority of the herd. And when the whole herd gets very long, again, that to me is amateur hour of a position. So don't get me wrong, they sometimes get paid, but majority of the time in my history, that's why we brought the tilt out for you guys. They take a hit, whatever that means. Could take a 10 handle hit, 20 handle hit, or whatever. How the hell did I?
Michael, Anne-Marie loves your quote. The market has a natural bid. She says that.
No, that's not mine, and that's Andre's.
That's not me. That's everybody.
There you go.
That's
me.
everybody.
That's me.
The buck.
Oh, it's Hogue. All right, Hogue came up with it.
Okay,
Wait a minute. That was me.
80% of people that trade stocks are trading long side only. That gives us an upside tilt.
There you go.
well, that 4-lot would have been nice because it removed 20 handles, but I just kept the one handle of it because I got stopped out. So now I'm back to scratch on the day. Now I'm like Matt, I'm like, should have just stopped trade, waited 15 minutes.
All right.
Talk is back in the markets.
Would have saved myself some commissions. Yeah.
S&P's just bounced way off of weekly kickoff high, 4,500, big fat round number. I meant to get out there and I didn't.
55. Yeah, the 55.
4,500.
45.
Yeah, but the 855s that I was talking about was the old high. You would have really only taken about 6 handles of heat on that, just so we were all talking the same language. You would have had 20 handles into that because the pullback's been at least 20 handles. And you would have only taken 6 handles of heat. Oh, shit. Lacey's. That means what, John?
Is that why we're going higher?
Most people say that's a sell.
No, it's a sell now.
Sell bell.
Well, she's watching
All right.
gold here. Is
Crude
gold
is
selling
doing
off?
its thing.
Yeah, let's jump the crude if we got it.
She's so loud, man. I've got my door closed and everything, and she.
I'm actually going to go ahead and take this off. I going to just get a base hit here. Launching 170. Going off the point and control flip for the value area rotation, kind of green to red rotation there.
And 80% on the tilt side.
Right. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things kind of working there.
Guys, see how Matt did that? He looked at, he had all his check boxes, the 15 minutes, and this is what I heard, Matt, if I'm missing anything. 15 minutes, the tilt, point of control, right? Those are kind of the 3 bangers.
That's the 3 bangers for me on crude. It's make sure the 1 minute structure looks okay, point of control flip, and then targets are typically looking for either like actual trends. I think crude, I kind of make fun of people that draw trend lines a lot of times. It's more of just a meme, but like crude does respect it a lot. And then, but if I'm not looking for like a true trend test, then I'll just look for like a value area rotation. So going from like value area high to value area low. I call it a green to red rotation or red to green, where I'm just kind of going from top to bottom, 70% of volume. So that's my crude trade. I don't know if I'll get another crude trade or not today. It depends on what the NAS is doing. Typically when I don't like the NAS price action, I'm trading crude.
Andre, the trend lines and all that stuff. Andre calls charting.
No, I didn't say that. No.
Yes, this is the one you did say. It's the astrology or astronomy or astrology. Astrology for traders.
Right.
Chart.
Okay. Funny enough, though, I also have a funny bit on moon trading. So
yeah, it's same thing. Yeah. What do you got?
But the thing is that I do enjoy trading crypto when crypto is fun to trade. Like there are times where crypto is absolutely just the best. And I did a funny bit on my stream where we found a coin called Luna, which means moon, and we only traded it using moon cycles on TradingView, and it literally was perfect. It worked. It worked perfectly. And then, of course, Luna, I don't know if you're familiar, but like Luna had like this massive collapse, total Ponzi scheme at the end of the day, whatever. But the moon cycle literally top ticked it at like $90 all the way down to 0. So
go figure.
Moon cycle's undefeated.
Yep, go figure.
I mean, I've heard people, and even Deano said, I'm looking to get short up there. Hey, Matt, just really quick, what level did you like in the NASDAQ? The 880s?
Yeah, I like 80s and 20s a lot. So we just can't. It's like a magnet.
I know somebody else who likes those. I know somebody else who likes those levels.
Yeah.
Somebody I was working with, I think it was Joe Sajor.
And it kind of comes back to what you were talking about like the big, what'd you call it? Big numbers or big
fat round number?
Big fat round number.
Yeah. So you
James
think
Sajor.
about like the 80s and 20s, like if you're taking positions at both of those, you're going to be averaged out at like a big fat number of 0, right?
Yep.
So same concept.
Nice trade, John.
I'm flat now, by the way. I got out.
Nice trade, Johnny. That's how you do the opening range. I should have widened my damn stop. Hey, John, where'd you put your stop just so we can replay that trade real quick? What'd you buy? 91s?
Okay, so I
bought 91s too.
91s. I bought 91s. I'm sorry. Bought 91s.
Yeah.
My stop was here. Well, hang on. Let me put it where we can see it. My stop was initially right below the opening range, but as soon as we got long up there, I usually move it about 2 points the other side of the opening range.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll come down here, take out all those stops, and then it goes. And that's exactly what happened today.
I was one of those suckers. I was one of those suckers with my stop too tight.
Well, I mean, it's hard to gauge how far it's going to take it, right?
Yeah.
You know, is it going to? I mean, is it going to fail? Is it going to go lower? We don't know what's going to go on. So you gotta you take your risks and you take your changes, right?
I'm going even bigger on the opening range trade tomorrow.
Oh, whoa! That's gonna put more money.
It's been working.
Gonna put more money in your pocket.
It's been hitting.
I love it, Andre.
Hey, we got about 5 minutes here. Fed Vice Chair for Supervision, Barr speaking. I don't think that's Roseanne Barr, but if it is,
maybe it's her
just a
husband.
heads up.
It's Roseanne Barr.
Well, I don't know if it is her husband, but
She likes to speak.
Remember when she sang the national anthem?
They don't like that.
That was good. Yeah, that was cool.
Quick, just a quick poll out there. Are we setting up for a trend day up? Because if you look at a 5-minute pullbacks, we're making higher highs and higher lows. So really quickly, or is this kind of just extending the high side of the range? I don't know. I'll show you.
I don't know.
We got volume up here. There's a lot of volume being conducted. So I think it's kind of do or die right now, to be honest. This kind of gives me, I call it like slow grind days where, maybe it's actually slow grind. Maybe it's happens very quickly, but where we just like, it's like the endless bid, right?
Yep. Oh God. Yeah.
Anytime you get that volume up near the highs like this, it's kind of do or die where all of a sudden Delta comes back up, the endless bid happens, and you just kind of push new highs, and it just happens all day.
Yep.
Speaking of new highs, Johnny, you're on your highs, and I say that ESPN. Yes. Yes, it's not as high, and this is a big fat round number too.
Yeah, it's 4,500, and it's weekly kickoff high too.
Oh, so then I'm looking to get short.
Are you?
Well, you can. Is it going to hold or is it going to run through? I mean, what we're looking at in the chart today is we're looking at some longer time frame new buying coming into the marketplace.
Are we really?
This is a new situation. Volume.
This is different ship attack.
Yeah. Okay. I could argue with you, John, and say, yeah, well, maybe long time frame traders, which long time frame isn't 100 years. Like it could be months, right? It could be
weeks, could be days, could be.
Okay. Did all those traders just like is Tilt? If we had Tilt sitting there for the last month, would we have saw a ton of shorts in there, and the longer time frame shorts got squeezed? Are they getting squeezed right now?
You got to remember, Michael. I mean, when we're talking about the long time frame, we're talking about major banks, major hedge funds. They're not naked long or short anything.
They're hedged up. Yeah,
they're all hedged against other products, and when price gets to a level where they need to adjust those inventories, that's where I put those weekly kickoff levels. Now, there's a change in the marketplace that occurred today with the CPI.
Yep.
So now there's new information, and that new information near an important level to a longer time frame trader, that's a powerful opportunity for any trader, for any day trader, but you've got to pick the right side. You got to recognize, if we're seeing right now, according to Delta, Michael, in the NASDAQ and in the S&Ps, we have all time frames acting in concert for this market to continue to go.
I tried to short there at the highs, got stopped out for 5 points.
Okay. On the NASDAQ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Did you try getting short there, Matt?
I did. I got short at 60, got stopped out literally at the tick of that, or new highs of 65.
But
so
I like
that's what's driving this is short time frame shorts getting short and getting run over. It's feeding this rally. That's what Anne Marie was saying. So
let's not be one of them then.
So here's the weekly kickoff in the NASDAQ, Michael. It's 15,722, 1570.
Yeah.
We went through it. I mean, like butter.
I have that. Yeah. Yeah, like butter. Well, okay. So hear me out. This is what I'll argue with you guys in a good trader way. If it goes through things like butter, isn't that a lot of stop running? Or you could say, in your argument, what is no new buyers are coming in. But I would say longer time frame. Not the banks that are hedged up, but still, longer time frame can get like run over. And I know you just said longer time or banks, and they're all hedged up, but
they
still
can get run over, but they're always hedged. They may be getting run over in the NASDAQ futures or S&P futures.
Yeah, but they'll leg out of their hedged up stuff, right?
Right, but they're probably over long the underlying stocks in this case. If they're short the S&P or the NASDAQ, they are way long the underlying stocks.
Yeah. So then, so now if you're one of those guys, when are you rolling out of, or you always just got that spread on? I mean, like,
this is gonna be endless bid day today, isn't it?
I'm not smart enough.
Yeah, I know that's why I'm like having fun trying to do an argument with you. I'm trying to find because it's true. Like we don't know for sure how
we don't. So now tomorrow, if we have a big run to the upside today in the equities, when I look at the open interest tomorrow, if open interest drops, that's not healthy for a continuation to the upside. We want to see new business, new buying in any time frame continuing to come in and barrel into new longs. Eventually they'll get too long and then we'll get the pullback. So like, if you look at the chart here, the daily chart in the S&Ps, and this is something Dalton talks about a lot. So here's the daily. So we had this V bottom. This is the week where like opening range was the dead low, opening range was the dead low, opening range was the dead low. Those were beautiful. and I let them go. I know. I'm sorry. I sometimes
let it rip, Johnny.
Yeah. Speaking of letting go,
dirty, filthy mind you got.
So we were looking at this auction, and it seemed to be kind of slowing down here. Dalton was saying the market is too long. We need to consolidate or pull back before we can get another move to the upside. What did we do? We consolidated, we pulled back, and we've been basically kind of moving higher ever since. Now, yesterday, we didn't do much of anything. Volume was dead. We were waiting for today. We lost 9,700 in open interest.
Yep.
That's shorter time frame traders liquidating because they don't want to get smushed today.
Yeah.
But now all those people that were long are going, damn, I'm missing it.
Yep, I'm one of them.
I'm missing it.
Hey, Johnny, take a look at the dollar real quick. JT says, oh, my God, look at the dollar.
Rally.
What's the dollar doing?
The dollar is, well, it came off pretty hard on when the number came out, and it's still dropping. I mean, it's 104.57 right now. And that's a delayed quote, but, it was 104.8 before the open. It's still kind of pushing to the downside. So cheaper dollar means it's going to take more of them to buy stocks.
There's the 80s.
I know. I got short right here.
Oh man.
Now we got juice at 900 though. This is appearing to be very slow grind in my opinion.
Yep. It's exactly what it's shaping up
endless
to be.
bid.
Endless bid. Buy dip. Buy pullbacks.
Close your eyes.
Pullbacks, but I haven't seen a damn pullback yet.
Yeah. Close your eyes and press bid.
One of those.
Yeah. Just close your eyes and buy.
Yeah. Crude on the nice,
Sometimes it's the right thing.
Crude, nice little M on the 1 minute. I wish I would have taken it. I could have done the exact same trade twice.
Now, don't you guys forget here now that
what do you got?
That the Santa Claus rally is right around the corner. And my boys this morning,
baby,
they woke me up at like 6 a.m. Hi, Daddy, because I haven't seen them in a week.
Yeah,
and they're like, we saw Rudolph last night. I'm like, oh, really? Say, holy shit! But I'm like, really? So now,
shit, kids.
Yeah, holy shit, what the? I'm like, what's he doing out so early? Now, if Hoag's going Lacey and I'm going a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old on positions and directions of the market, they just told me Santa Claus Rally's right around the corner. And for those that don't know, Santa Claus Rally's in December. They always call, you'll see CNBC goes, well, it's the Santa Claus Rally.
Yeah, that's why I'm growing my beard. And wearing my rally sweater.
You got to work at the mall later.
Sam's drunk again.
Matt, if this is a slow grind, my stupid shorts are.
Dude, I know.
Yeah, they're.
So what are we? Sorry, Matt.
Go ahead. I just saying.
So what are we looking for to try and get into this? Yep.
It's real. I hate this type of price action. I'll be straight up honest. I have a very hard time with. I think it's just a mental thing, to be honest, of buying 2% up. Like, can we obviously rip to 4%? Sure. Why not? Right? Like, market does what the market does. But it's just mentally very challenging for me. And especially as we get to like 900, I'm like, I don't want to be buying psych level 900. Like, that's the problem. Typically on these types of slow grind days, I sit on the sidelines for so long, and then you buy, and then it just absolutely snaps on you. You're like, you wait, and you're like, okay, finally the trend is so confirmed. Like, this thing is going to rip all day long, and then I buy, and then it's like a 50-point snapper, right? So I don't want to do that. I think a retest of the 60s could be interesting. But I'm not going to buy 85 here. I can tell you that. I'll watch crude all day over buying 85.
It's so hard to get into a move that's already underway like this. It's so hard. Everybody's like, well, I can't buy it up here, so I'm going to sell it. And that's what feeds the rally.
Yep. Right. I covered mine at 47 or 84. I don't.
Yeah. Well, hey, folks, if you like what's going on, please. We've got 2,500 people watching right now, and only 538 likes. Come on, show some love, hit that smash it, kick it, and don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Hey, John, I got a question for you from yesterday's coaching call.
Sure,
group coaching. JP Rivas is asking, I've been buying the high volume node shoulders on NASDAQ, and it has paid well.
Good.
There you go.
Good. Awesome. Yeah, I remember you sent in the question and we talked about it yesterday. So here's what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. He just, he was learned this, hopefully he's been learning it, but hopefully it's going to help everybody. So Matt, I mean, you're a trader. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but when the market is directional like this, I find that looking at the low volume nodes as support levels, it can be helpful. So we'd be looking for a long on this. I call them shoulders, from high volume to low volume. It's a shoulder. So anywhere in this shoulder, if we're looking for a long, we can limit risk against this low volume node. If it gets too much through it, then we're probably screwed. We're probably wrong on the trade. So we're watching this in real time now. So here's our opportunity for a potential long.
Yeah, this is that 60s I was talking about.
Did you get short, Michael?
Right.
No. Right when I covered, the market goes, gotcha. So I covered 84s and it was 87s high. I mean, this is what it does. This little squeeze.
No, this is the pullback we can use to get long.
This one doesn't hold. This is the next one. So if you're looking for opportunities to get into that, okay, so it just hit all the stops.
Yeah, it did.
Now we're going to look for an opportunity on this volume shoulder against this low volume node.
Okay, Matt. So the 80s technically held for so far.
Right. Yeah, absolutely, they did. Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Hey, guys, speaking of subscribe, throw Matt's link in here. I've been following Matt for a long time. We've been working with Matt for a long time. He's one of the first guys in the space, YouTube space, influencer. You ever go out on the town and they comp you because like, are you Matt Miller? Are you TBM?
I've only been recognized twice in my life.
That's
once, and they're actually both. But one's a lame story. I was picking up a pizza in San Clemente, and the pizza guy was like, "Wait, are you Matt?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, I watch your stream all the time. The very first time that was actually sick. We were having a meetup here in Austin, and we got a party bus. This was 2 years ago. We got a party bus, and the driver comes out. And my wife goes to go put a cooler in it or whatever, or keg actually.
You got the wife hauled the keg around. I love it.
Yeah. And the guy was like, "Wait, are you Julia?" And she's like, "Yeah, how do you know that?" And he's like, "Wait, you're Matt's wife." And he's like, "I was actually wanting to go to this meetup, but I got booked to drive a to drive the party bus around."
No way.
Turns out the guy was like part of the community. We had a great time. He was just like partying with all of us. It was great.
Oh, awesome.
That's cool.
Guys, we're gonna throw his link in here. We've worked with Matt for a long ass time. I've golfed with him. I've had a great time with him. I've been on a boat with him.
Yeah, that was
hammered with him.
Oh, in the city.
Yeah, that was top notch.
Yeah, let's just cut the chase. Cool. When you go golfing with a buddy and you go on a boat with a buddy, come on.
Your buddies.
Yeah, your buddy. So throw that in. Throw his link up there, pin it to the top. Go check him out. I like how you approach the market. You do in a very, I would say, methodical. It is good for a trader, and disciplined and patient way. So, yeah, kudos to you.
I try to be patient. That's like, I constantly am telling everybody that will listen to me to be smart and be patient. I got it literally everywhere. Like I got it on my protein shakes. Be smart, be patient. I got it on my mouse pad. And it's really just so that I'm reminding myself to like let the market do what the market does. Be patient. Obviously, like every aspect of life, being patient typically, helps you think through decisions. But a lot of times with the market, I just gotta like be a little bit more patient.
Well, as you say in the racing world, let the race come to you.
All right.
And speaking of racing world, you guys got the F1. You guys got the F1 down there, don't you?
Yeah, I went to Austin F1. I'm in Austin if you don't know, if you're watching. So we were in Austin F1 3 weeks ago or whatever, and then I'm going to Las Vegas F1 on Thursday.
No way.
Dude, did you hear about those tickets? If you got long. If you bought tickets a year ago, you got long on the highs.
Yeah. They luckily I was actually checking because I was a little tilted when I heard that. I got like club tickets or whatever, and they're the same price. So I didn't get hosed, but if you got like general admission, you got hosed if you bought them like a year ago.
They overplayed their hand out there.
Yeah.
Well, the season's a dud. That's the problem.
Yep. Yeah, it's like Max has already won.
They're saying about that F1 track.
Yeah.
They're saying that F1 track is funky. It's not safe. There's a few turns that are very tight.
That's
so
good.
I'm going to be
that's
watching
action,
that F1.
Right?
It'll look good. I guarantee you it'll look really good on TV. That I know.
It's going to be so sick. The race is going to, the race is at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Like it's going to be.
Which is great if you're watching it in New York at 1 a.m.
Right. Right. Yeah. The thing is that if you're an F1 fan, you're an F1 fan. So you're used to waking up, most of the races are in different time zones anyways.
True.
Okay, Tilt's at 50-50. Tilt's been 50-50 this whole way up.
That's why it's going to be a slow grind. Nobody's tilting, and you got these shorter time frame shorts, which is pretty much everybody at Topstep.
Do y'all watch Delta at all?
John does.
Oh, John's Delta.
That's true.
Yeah, I like Delta on this type of move is like the ultimate like slow grind. I keep saying I don't really have a different word for it, just like the endless bid, slow grind, whatever.
Yep.
Where it starts to get super heavy off the 80s. We get slapped 30 points. It's still super heavy off the 60s here, value area high. Like we either rotate and have another leg into the 40s into the overnight highs, or if like we get a bid off of this, like that will be my true confirmation of like this is gonna just continue to go. Right now, like everything that I'm seeing on a general day, I would want to be getting short at 68, 69. But I just don't trust it right now, to be honest.
Hey, tell me why your candles aren't colored.
So this is a 22 range chart. It's very, it's not time based. Most people are probably familiar, but if you're watching, basically every candle is 22 ticks of price movement. Mm-hmm. So one candle could be 30 minutes long, one candle could be 2 seconds long. It's just 22 ticks top to bottom, and you get wicks out of it. I don't have it colored purely because my chat moderator named Gary set up all of my Sierra chart for me, and he didn't color the candles, and I liked it. I just like I got used to it. I used to when I was using Tradevate, I used to have them colored, and then I got into whites, and I kind of liked it. It kind of just like helps me eliminate bias, I guess, in a way. Like I'm just really just looking at where are we ticking, and what's going on. So I got everything else.
Sort of looks like Space Ghost.
Yeah, I know it looks a little weird. But
and more action.
So basically, I only use I have Delta on my 5-minute, but I only use Delta on the 22 range. That's what I'm actually looking for from a scalping perspective. It's so what's the word I'm looking for? It is so responsive to like very quick price movement. Like the 22 range is probably going to be a faster time frame than a minute chart, right? Like realistically. And so Delta, when you're able to get into that granular of a level, in my opinion, I'm really seeing kind of what the market is doing. And then you pair it up with liquidity or whatever, and it's kind of a move. Been using it for a very long time. I back tested the 22 range like 2018 probably. And at the time, the strategies that I was using when I walk forward tested it was saying to use a 22 range. And then my brain is just so accustomed to a 22 range chart that I've used it for, 5-6 years now.
Good stuff.
I like the no colors. Some people find certain colors alarming. Like some people don't like red. Red is an alarming color. Some people will actually
like
take the red and make it purple or something on these charts, just so it's not so alarming.
And a lot of
hey, John.
Yeah.
Where's the real quick here low volume node for the ES? Got a question from Pandy Man.
Okay, so
NASDAQ up 2%. Sorry, John.
It's all right. ES low volume node. Well, we're looking at one right here. 4501 half. The market really kind of came back to test that weekly kickoff level, which is 4500.
Yep.
That's kind of a high volume node. So I mean, if we can hold this low volume node here, that would be supportive. There's also another low volume node below that at 4494 half.
Okay.
So I mean, whatever platform you're using, most of them will have a volume profile. Like we can look at this here. And all right. So here's the ES today. So if you put the volume profile on, you'll see those low volume nodes. There's the 730 bar. Here's the 830.
What's the price level, John?
Hang on a second here.
I'm going to probe you. I'm going to prod you with an electrical thing.
Every
time you say something that doesn't have a level.
Getting on my level.
So here's the volume profile for the session today. You see that low volume node we were just looking at here at 4501.50. You got another low volume node down here at 4494.75. So far this volume node has been more supportive than anything. It did look below it, but it didn't really take us past the high volume node right here. So I mean, that's one way that I found. And I'm with Matt, man. I don't like directional trades that I'm not already in.
Okay, right, John. Can you switch to the NASDAQ? Because directional trade, if we're saying it's directional trade, which I think we're all agreeing thus far.
I'm long 60s, by the way.
I was just gonna say that was a great.
All right.
I was gonna call your 80s out on being a great trade, guys. He said the 80s up there. And when we're calling this out, this is kind of the experience that Matt's saying, hey, when I see this, I see this. 80s only, if you would have shorted 80s at 880, and this is 15,880 in the NASDAQ, you only would have taken 7 ticks heat. It traded all the way down to 57 or something like that. So there's 30 handles that you would have got out of it, $600 on a one lot. So if you want to kind of say, hey, you know what, that was a great level, which it was, you could have pulled 600-ish out of that. Now, I'm not saying you're carving the market up perfectly to get in and get out, but as you can tell, there's at least 400 on a one lot in there of cushion to the to the down to the in the money side, if you can follow. Yeah, I like those 60 plays because it kind of popped down to 57. So, John, my question is, you jumping over the NASDAQ is, where's the low volume node coming off here? Because it just pulled off the 50.
Okay, so
51.
that last pullback down here kind of filled in a low volume node here. The next low volume node is down all the way down here at 1580, 838, 839 ish.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be more of a deeper pullback. It'll probably be a harder trade to take.
I'm looking for a run of the highs. We'll see if we get there. We got 10 more minutes for initial balance to kind of play out. I'd like to see us go trade the 80s again. Delta's looking decent, in my opinion, which kind of gives me that mentality of, we grind higher. But
Matt, can you explain what initial balance is for those folks that are new?
It's congruent with direction, Delta. So I agree with that.
Yeah, the only thing is that we got so much liquidity down below us that just spooks me. But gonna not pay attention to that right now and just play the direction. Initial balance for me is first hour of the session. So first, the very high and the very low of the first hour of the session. I track it on my 1 minute chart here. It's the green line and the red line on my 1 minute chart. The gray line is the middle point.
It automatically puts it in there?
Yeah.
The hell was that?
What indicator or what whatever? Yeah. Is that on your charts? It's a set right there.
Yeah. So for me, it's called initial balance on Sierra chart.
Got it.
I have two sets of green and red line.
Low volume node at 870. Low volume node at 870 is acting like resistance. Ghost is posting. We seeing resistance there?
We've rejected it 68, 69, 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. I mean, if you're of the idea you're looking for shorts up against this high volume node above the market, you'd be looking in the volume shoulder here for your entry, and your stop has to be past the next high volume node, which puts us into another low volume node.
Well, I got a low volume node, John, at like 42. Is that not? Am I not accurate with that one?
42. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's below price. If you're looking for a continuation, this would be a level you could look for support at.
I'm looking for a pull. I'm looking to buy pullbacks.
It might be turning over here.
I don't know. Just that's the volume.
Right now, if you're listening, you're like, "What the?" But guys, what we're doing right now is just trade. You work with other traders, and we used to do this in the pit. You talk like this. And however you then decide to play your poker hand, if you want to call it that, because we're all talking about kind of different, I don't know if we're using the word probability, but we're kind of thinking probability here as we're all talking. Be like, okay, all right, that makes sense, and it adds up. So, and then it has to align with your trading plan too. Just remember all this stuff. And John can be short, and Matt can be long, and they both can make money. That can happen, and they both have different trading plans. So to each its own on your trading journey. Yeah, well, this is trader talk. This is tradertainment is why we call it that. So then you can kind of get a feel for that. Anything that you guys don't know definition-wise or words-wise, toss it in here because we got a team in the back that will define it for you guys.
Yeah. So I think to touch on that, Michael, I think we're constantly just looking for opportunity, and the more eyes you have on the market, seeing different things, whether it's John with the low volume nodes and Matt looking for with the liquidity and stuff, it just gives you more information to help you pull the trigger on a trade. That's kind of how I look at it. You don't have to take everything that everyone says, but you filter it out and stuff that if you're seeing it, if it aligns with what you're seeing, then hey, you can enter the market. That's essentially what we're doing.
That's what you should be getting out of this Topstep.
That's what this team trading is we're not we're not trading the same account. We're just talking ideas, talking it out.
You see that delta, John?
Like that.
Yes, like that. Because right now, I'm not seeing it. I'm not looking at it, but I'm sure as hell paying attention to the next thing John says.
Like that.
So, off of 50 psych level, Delta went berserko.
Well, okay, now tell me what berserko means.
Big jump.
Yeah.
Tell me what berserko means, because I used to date a girl, but I don't know how that relates to trading berserko.
But trading berserko, I just mean it's going crazy, and you see that response, immediate buy up off of it. I don't know if you can see it on my screen or not. Can you see the bottom right or the very bottom? I can't really. Well, anyways.
No, not really.
Let me see if I can pull it up a lot. See if that helps. Yeah, so there you go. So you see price here, consolidating the 50s. All of a sudden, we get a huge surge of buyers coming through.
Whoa.
And then we launch off of it. I'd like to probably add another there, but I don't really want to go too deep here. I don't love it enough for that.
Yeah,
I'm a very passive size-wise trader.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really enjoy trading 10s, 15s, 20s.
Yeah. So the
But
80s.
look at the buying going on right now, right? So it's like good for 20 points immediately just off delta surging like that. Pushing value area high here, looking to run the prior wicks at 70. I agree with that guy. Like getting through 69, 70 is pretty much line in the sand right now. But if we get through 70, like we push, I think, new highs. So
48s. John, we were just talking about 44s getting down on that low volume node too. So what Matt is saying and what we were talking about earlier, there's a play in there that you would have not taken too much heat and still buying the pullback, because we're talking about this could be a trend day up, the slow grind up. That conversation still exists, guys, that we were talking about 15, 20 minutes ago about like, God, there's going to be one of those grind higher days, blah, blah, blah. And this could be the pullback. So it's just always something to be thinking about. Now, it could start to weaken up. And then Andre said it could, earlier, it could start to fall apart. Again, it's not like we're wishy-washy here. We have a flexible bias. As traders, you have to have a flexible bias, because if you get stuck just marrying one thought process, it's going to be a short career in trading, doing it that way.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So, man, S&Ps came back and kissed that weekly kickoff high.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, here, take a look at the 5-minute chart here.
4,500
over there.
That was a big fat round number.
Here's the opening bar. Opening 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We looked above the weekly kickoff high. It came down and just kissed it, and now it's up near the highs again. I mean, this doesn't look like a big deal, but we're talking 8 points here.
So Matt's long to me still looks pretty good, in my opinion.
I like the long still. I would, if we get another pullback into just above point of control, I'd be interested in getting a second contract, actually, like 55. But
yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna happen or not.
Yeah, Matt's still long, guys. Look at the very top of your screen. Matt long 115,860. You're gonna always see that John's up, I'm down, Andre's down a little.
Michael, your patience has just been exemplary today.
Yeah, it's been great.
But Michael, it's just been
What? I traded like a
yeah. You're chilling right now.
Oh, yeah, that's because I don't want to make it. I'm not now seeing it very well. And Matt bought that pullback that I was looking for when I was talking to John about the low volume node around the 44s. It pulled down to 48. So he took 12 handles heat on it, but now he's up in the money on it. So what would have made you stop out of that
aggressive selling? So like with Delta pushing off of psych level and point of control, so like that's the most volume that we've had on the entire session. A huge response at Delta. Both of those are like, I'm gonna go hands off here and just let it do its thing.
Yeah,
if I don't see either of those respond, like if I don't see point of control respond there and we just slide through it, that's like I don't want to be in that.
We got S&Ps helping you. They're on their highs.
Yeah, and like we're testing the top of that range right now on the NAS at 70. Delta's still trying to push. We got a lot of wicks here. I have this phrase that I love on like a 5-minute chart, which is wicks get run. So if we get a bunch of wicks all at the same exact spot, like we do right now at value area high at 71, a lot of times we clean through that. So that's kind of what's happening right now.
There's your 80s again, though. Coming back to your 80s, if it retests your 80s right here, would that be a 20 handle out? And then you say it plays in a range, or are you looking for a runner? And if you're looking for a runner, where's your out?
So I'm not looking for a runner. I honestly don't really enjoy having runners that much.
We all want them, but it's hard to find.
Right. Psychologically, I'd rather just have it hit my target and move on to the next trade. Here, as I mentioned earlier, though, I am looking for a sweep of the highs. So I do want to see us kind of pop this 80s level, this 88. I'm looking for 90s. It's at the times where a bunch of liquidity was, which still is. On like targets like this, if I see 62 on the books at 89, 75, a point off of that is typically fair game.
I'm not saying this matters yet, Matt, but the tilt is starting to line up where both S&P and NASDAQ are starting to cruise up to the 60. Not saying anything. Long. Yeah. Right. The average long price, though, just so we know, I'm looking at 61. So the longs that are in here are right about where you're at.
Yep.
Right. So right now I'm up 25 points. Looking for another 5 or so. But I'm at the point now where I am in the 80s. We are near the highs. I'm not going to be a dick for a tick. And I'm going to let it, like, if I see like a strong sell off for some reason or Delta kind of falls off a cliff, I'll be getting out of this thing. But we are trying to sweep the highs right now. Double top.
John plays it a little bit if it gets close. Matthew, John plays it a little bit.
Time.
Yeah,
it's the 10% rule.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I heard that on here a month ago or whatever, and I really like that phrasing.
It's fair enough, yeah. All right, so S&P's on its highs, off its highs by a handle. Yeah. All right.
Nice trade.
Yeah, I don't like Delta. So again, pull this up so you can see it. But we got like a very strong rejection. I think we probably do sweep through the high because double tops typically don't hold to the tick like that. But with this much selling going on here, I'm not interested. So I'll just go ahead and kill it and move on. So I'm up 415 on the day.
Well done.
There you go.
John, they want to know what's the 10% rule?
The 10% rule is if you've got a trade on and you've got a 40 tick profit target and you're within 4 ticks of it, you're allowed to take it off within 10% of the profit target and call it a full profit target hit.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Matt, you picked the 80s. You would have only taken 7 tick heat on that short. You would have to wait. You had to wait for it though. It was tough waiting for that one. And by the time you waited for it, we were all being like, "It was just going to be one of those slow grind up days. It's going to keep going." Right when we said that, the 87s hit, and then it sold off to 57.
Right.
And then we talked about the pullback, and if it's a trend day up, and it's going to be one of the slow grinds that you said you hated, but it doesn't mean you don't trade it. Right. And you got it in the 60s. So guys, that's kind of the flow that I see good traders do is look at it that way. Stay very patient. Matt, you did that. I got stopped out of the highs, so I don't know if I was patient enough, but I just got shooken out of that trade when we were all talking about it's going to be one of the slow grind days. And I was already down about 400, so I didn't want to make it a $800 or $1,000 down day out of the gate, especially coming back from holiday. So that's me, or not a holiday, a vacay or travel. Maybe you call it a holiday. Deanna would call it a holiday.
They call it a holiday.
Yeah. And here's your 90s. Now you talked about your 90s. So we're up here.
Yeah, so this would have been a full target for me. I would have gotten 30 points. Instead, I got 20, which is fine. Which
is fine.
Totally.
I'm not gonna freak out about that. A lot of my and I talked about this a long time ago on a Topstep podcast, years and years ago at this point, but for me, a lot of trading is emotional capital. And like, how long can I keep myself sharp, like you were talking about, and how long can I have, the ability to objectively see the market?
Yep.
And a lot of that comes from like the emotional capital side, the psychological side, I guess, of like, if I'm in a trade and I'm taking tons of heat, I'm going to be drained from it, right? Like, I'm tired. I'm not going to be seeing it as clearly. If I'm in a trade that is going well, but it's still like, I'm sweating it, I'm white knuckling it, even though it's going well, it's like, that's going to wear me out for the rest of the session. So trades like this, it's like, thankfully over the years, I've been able to just be like, you know what? I got 20 points. I'm fine with that. And on to the next,
Right.
And don't dwell on it. Don't look at what could have been, what should have been. Just like, on to the next. And that emotional capital high.
And Eddie, I want you to bring the schedule up here because we got an individual that can help you all out. Myself included, on the psychological part of everything. And if you're not protecting or working your psychological muscles or resting them like Matt did by not even looking at the screen last week or whatever, then you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. Because I know since I started trading, Matt, on TopstepTV, man, my weeks, I am exhausted. And I got to go from here to being a founder, CEO of Topstep and working with the Topstep team on all the cool shit that we're bringing out and helping traders with. Man, that's hard to shift gears. And a lot of people here have dual incomes or dual jobs or whatever too. So
yeah, it's totally, it's very challenging. Or even just to like, one thing that took a lot for me, it was just like how to be a husband and a dad. Like if I'm having like, trading is very exhausting. And it's also very tilting sometimes, right? So it's like, how do I go have like actual relationships with people and not be a total dick if I had a bad trading session?
You had a bad trading.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? So, Lots
I
of
would definitely
navigating.
succumb to that. I would shut off the rest of the world if I've gotten a cold streak. But Michael obviously knows that. But
we would
it's
be
hard to
like,
deal with losses. It's hard.
Yeah.
we would be like, "Where's Andre?" And then Andre worked was a trader, a big trader at a sweet ass boutique, big firm in Chicago, and I knew all his the traders there. Well, a lot of them. Still, one of them's a really good friend. I'm like, "Hey, Burdell, where's Andre?" He's like, "He's taking a bad hit lately." So that pretty much means he would alienate himself. Because Matt, you said the same thing. If you go out, like my wife's
You gotta
like,
be a human. You forget how to be a human sometimes.
Right, actually.
All right, so it's up at the
We're
95.
still going, man. It's gonna be one of these just.
It's a slow grind day, man. It's just there's zero shot of rechasing the CPI in my opinion as of right now, and like we'll see what happens at 900, but everything is pointing to endless bid.
John, when do we get in again? Where? Yeah.
The contrarian in me is trying to figure out where the top's going to be.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
It's the worst. I'm doing everything in my power to get in my hands and not worry about that.
Hey Eddie, can you bring in the schedule so people that are that heard the psychology stuff can hear about it? We got a trade psychology.
Definitely tuning in for that.
We do have Jared Tindler going to be with us tomorrow, Wednesday at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time, and Jared's been with us many a times. So there it is right there, Power Players. We've got that Wednesday, Jared Tindler. Don't miss it, and remember, keep your pencil sharpened, ink in your pen, because taking notes will benefit you when Jared is on.
50-point rotation off of the point of control test. It's like the moves are good. Like that 50 points is 50 points, right?
Hell
it's
yeah.
just it's a pain in the ass to.
That's what they say in Orland Park. 50 points is 50 points.
Hey guys, I sold a 2-lot up at 98.
There he is.
Hey,
get in there.
Hey, big fat round number, boys.
We're right at initial balance too. So FYI, balance is set 87.5.
Yeah, and if it was gonna and the tilt I was talking earlier about, it was getting a little long, and maybe today heavy longs are in the 65s, 70s. So I'll take one off right now and then leave the other one on for a scratch.
I wouldn't be shocked to see us actually stay in balance, though, to be honest, or initial balance.
Tell me what that means, or tell everybody out here what that means.
So there's some stat, and I actually don't know it off the top of my head. I want to say it's 80% or something like nutty on days that end in initial balance. So again, the first hour high and low. But after a really strong move like CPI, I mean, I have to scroll my chart like 5 minutes just to be able to see the whole green candle. We're up 2%, right? So us hanging out in the 80s here at initial balance high is still a very solid close.
Yeah.
But us rotating 80 to 50 or 80 to 30 is, I mean, pretty not terrible range bound action in my opinion.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't be shocked to see. Obviously we still have, like, as long as we have liquidity higher, 900s, we'll probably sweep it, but I wouldn't be shocked to see us stay in initial balance. So at this point, initial balance would be 100-point range, 87.5 to 90.25.
887, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
it's about an average initial balance, isn't it, Matt? About an average.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
That's about an average initial balance for the NASDAQ, right?
100 points. Yeah. It really depends on like. I should honestly look and see like what's the VIX correlation to initial balance would probably be like way more interesting. However, I would say 100 points is pretty average.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of fake out retests of initial balance, especially the last like 2 weeks where we've been like ultra bull mode, right? Where you get initial balance high, we push up into it, you get a 20-point push out of it, and you come back down, you trade it, and it's an amazing entry. So like if we actually do push 900s, 920 here to get that 80 to 20 rotation that I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
We push 920, coming back down into like 80, into this 90 initial balance high would be like a very good long, in my opinion, if we're super like continuation bull mode. But I'm not sold there yet. So
I covered my last one at 82 down there. I just want to be up for the day right now, and then start over with a clear head an hour into the trading day.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was a good trade. Nice fade.
I was getting a little long, big fat round number. Your 80s still would only be taking about 19 handles heat, so there's a better entry. And if it would have popped above the big fat round number of 900, 900, then I would have been out. It was a light and tight trade.
Well, the thing is that like that 80s is not like, it's not the end all be all short. It's also just like a nice like take profit area.
Yep,
So like
yep.
for you, it's like, yeah, you got short 900. So like what makes sense to get out? For me, typically a lot of times it's the 80s.
Yeah, and Matt, I switched it. I was trading for a scratch at that. I was down 415, and I was looking to trade for a scratch. And trading for a scratch is a P&L scratch. I was down 415. I wanted to bring my day back to even. I wasn't looking to be back to even and then up $400. That's an $800 move. I wasn't looking for that big a move. I haven't been catching that big a move, so I'm going to take a higher probability, shorter move to get my day back. So I have a W on the day, which keeps me in the game always, guys. Trading's about staying in the game. Scratch trading is your second best trading day.
Yeah. Are y'all I guess Andre and Michael, are y'all scalping for the most part, or are you trying to actually get like full day plays?
I'm not doing full day plays. I can't read full days.
Me neither. Too much information comes into the market that can change the course of the trajectory of the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, Andre. Yeah, too much information will play out.
John
You guys are doing fine just taking whatever the market's giving you. I mean, it's a situation right now.
If we can let the market come to us, Eddie, yeah, you're right. That's the patience part. You let the market come to you, and then it will. I've always heard the disciplined get paid, and the undisciplined, or the market pays the discipline, and the undisciplined pay the market. Think about that.
Right.
I like that.
So I'm more of the longer term. I'm looking to take bigger bites. I haven't been very successful at it since starting TopstepTV, but I'm working on it. The only reason that I'm not still long the S&Ps is because we did take out the low of the opening range. If the low opening range was still the low, I would probably still be in this long.
Hey, Michael, is it true that if you wave a red cape in front of a market, it'll come at you?
No, it's true if you do it with a bull, and then it'll stick
bulls,
and then it'll stick you sometime, and you might get some. Take a look at what happens if you get the red cape close to your growing.
Let's take a look. Something happened. Who is that? That's Senor Patak.
The hell were you thinking?
That's you. I watched her put the red thing right by my stomach, and I'm like, time out. I'm done.
Wow, she's aggressive, man. You actually got in there.
Oh yeah,
black Labrador with horns.
It was the most epic trip I've had in a while.
That is crazy, dude. That is crazy.
More because we were with a guy in my school that I became friends with. He's from Mexico City, and his family. His family has a ranch right outside of town. His brother-in-law developed the Soho Mexico City house, so it's incredible. So it's like an incredible weekend of just like being like literally in the city, doing with all his buddies, and we all have kids. We had 20 people from Aspen fly down there without kids, so we all kind of partied for a while, and walked around town. It's so beautiful there. Even the street tacos, Eddie,
dude, I can imagine,
are good for you, if you know what I mean.
They're good for you. They're cool. I think any taco is good for me.
I gotta hand it to you, Michael. You could have lost a dear friend in there.
Couple of them, right?
Left or righty?
It was an effort moment because I'm sitting there and I was this third guy, and the first two guys got like wiped out. Their whole back was dirty, and they got hit because you have to carry the thing, and then like it goes towards the red. It doesn't go, so you shake it, and when you get it out here, you spin it. And we didn't really know the rules or the technical fundamentals.
You should probably know before you get in there with a bull.
Unlike Johnny Knoxville. Yeah.
As long as we're talking Bulls MP, just a reminder out there, I only say this every month or so, is that we will buy a Stetson cowboy hat for the first person to pass the combine trading only cattle.
100,000%. That's what we're gonna do, and some chaps.
Say less.
Say less.
Challenge accepted. Okay. I want another cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I want those chaps.
Jose, I love Mexico. Mexico City.
Yeah, crude oil is just ripping all day, huh? So, Michael, you're only trading the SPASDAC, right?
Yeah, I trade it. Everybody here trades it, so I wanted to kind of.
All right.
Yeah.
You too, Andre? Only the NAS, or do you trade
S&Ps.
Yeah.
NASDAQ's crazy.
No, SPASDAC, man,
It
or
is fast.
NASCrack. There's
So
plenty of different names.
there sure is. Sometimes I wish the S&Ps would move like NASDAQ when you're in a position, but yeah, for the most part, just S&Ps.
Yeah. NASDAQ.
We're already in dead zone here, huh?
So what happens if PPI comes on tame tomorrow too? Then it's just 4600s coming to play in the S&Ps. We're taking that opening range trade tomorrow, John.
I'm taking it every day just to see if here. Let me show you.
Pull that up, man, because last week it was hitting like nonstop. So the week before that,
this platform shows the opening range as this gold bar right here. Gold bar right here. So this one, it did not. It came within a tick of closing the gap. If we can't close the gap, we go with it. So there's a big push to the upside. We leave a late spike. We open above the late spike. The opening range is the dead ass low. If we take that opening range trade, we're risking about 6 points. The range on that day was 44 points. So we're risking 6 to make 40.
yeah,
Okay, I'll do that every day.
yeah, that's good.
Here's
math
another
right there.
one. Opening range, the low of the session. We're risking maybe 8 points on that one, it looks like. But we're also getting 25. I mean, if we got out near the high, we're looking at 25. Opening range, the high of the day. Where does it go to? Well, this is a big opening range. I probably wouldn't have taken this one because it's too big. But still, it gave at least a 2-to-1 reward over the risk you would have had to take on it because it remained the high of the session. Now here's one that doesn't work, one that doesn't work. This one, opening range, 8 points of risk, 40 points of potential target. I mean, if you take that and you marry it, by the end of the day, you're good through silk sheets.
You're good.
I'm short one on the NAS here.
I'm short 4. I'm short 4 on the NAS up at.
There we go. He's back.
ES is up already over 2%. NASDAQ up 2.25. So that stuff's screaming.
Hey, speaking of screaming, did you see that, Matt? Where it ripped higher?
Yeah, sweep of 900.
Yeah, and then it's like they got all the stops out.
Yeah,
now you're thinking.
Yeah, and then now I'm in here, which I could firm up again. It's one of those days.
46% long, 56% long.
I'm not looking for a ton here, to be honest. Really just looking for the IBH 887 and a half.
Tilt is up at 60, 58. So there's something nice around here, but this has one of those like another head fakes in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those that don't know, a head fake is where it rips higher again and it shakes out the weak sisters.
Yeah,
and
like
brothers.
05, 905.
Yep.
Got 115 sitting there that might happen. So I'm prepared for that, but
yeah. Moon, you said in there San Miguel. San Miguel is one of the most beautiful places I've been. So that's just north, I believe, or something like that of Mexico City. So thanks for that one. I think we have a lot of people from Mexico here. Sounds like it, or a lot of people that have visited it.
See,
if you are from Mexico or live in Mexico,
on the planet.
Yeah, chime in here. It's firming up around here, Matt. I'm going to be a little short-lived and take at least one off. Now I have 2.
Yeah, for me, the last 20 minutes have been fairly, or 15 minutes, I guess, has been fairly rangy. IBH to 900, so 80s to that 20-point range, 15-20-point range. So
yeah,
I'm gonna give it a little bit of breathing room, but not a terrible ton.
Yeah, I took mine off. I had it. I was good in the money, and then I took them all off at scratch. So that's why I like watching the dome, because you see shit rip.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very sweepy.
Eric Cruz, you're Mexican. Baja California surf skate. You're from Mexico. Well,
yeah, I'm looking for like 7 more points down here. So
Is that Oaxaca? Is that how you say it? I think it is, Andy. I think it is.
That is
I'm
correct.
hearing so much Rosaritos. I hear a lot of California folks go to Rosaritos. Puerto Rico in the house.
Folks, we've got some requesters asking about this Topstep X. Until then, we're inviting more people on the wish list each day. So we're going to be going well past the 500 early access. So if you haven't heard from us yet, please be patient. You will soon. So emails are going out each and every day at 10 a.m. Central Time. So check your email here in a little bit and see if you've got the link to Topstep X.
Yeah, I believe, Eddie, we're well over 500 now. So we're just starting to pluck 100, 200 a clip onto it.
Yes. Have at it. It's fun. I love it.
Uh-huh.
Till it's still 50-50. It's been 50-50 this whole way up.
It was 60 up there, Andre.
60.
Remember when
I saw 60s?
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe we don't see 80s today. Maybe the 60s and 65s are where it gets a little heavy.
Well, Matt saw 80s in crude, but I don't know about equity. You're right in equities.
Yeah, how often do you see the equities actually get to 80? Because I see it every day in crude and gold will every day get to 80. But
80s and equities, Patag, what do you think? A couple times a week?
Oh, easily. I'd say 70. You see 75s daily.
Yeah, you'll see 75s. 80s is super heavy though.
80s heavy. I saw a 91 and it was an incredible short. But you have to still feel it out because there's a lot of buyer when it's 90, when it's so tilty to that side, there's still a lot of buyers in there. And when I'm saying that is this is Topstep folks that are in it. There's still personal brokerage accounts, me trading over here, blah, blah, blah. Others, thousands, hundreds of thousands of probably of active traders that trade short time frames from around the world are probably a little bit biased like we're seeing in Topstep's community because we're just getting a good sample size of what everybody could be thinking as far as the direction.
Well, I don't want to be a dick for a tick. I'm like a point away from getting filled out here over and over again.
I'll just take it.
It's good for TV.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I didn't want people to start going fade Matt username because I get fade MP username.
Oh, dude, I literally on my YouTube channel, I have I think it's over 60 fades by Matt account names that have been just.
That's always great. When they pop it in there, I'm like, hey, throw our trading plan checklist up there to James or Robert, who's running the chat. I go throw it up there so that I can say to him, hey, in that checklist is a trading plan. Put that into your trading plan because if you think it's such a good fade me, add it to your trading plan because all you have to do is every time I get long, you get short and you're going to make money according to your username.
So I would have gotten filled out fully, but I was a little impatient. I was a little sketched, honestly, more than anything. Not even necessarily impatient, it's just more sketched. But I would have gotten filled out for 7 points. I think I took
Were you short or long, Matt?
4.
Sorry.
I was short, yeah.
Yeah.
I was short off that sweep above 900. Came back down after the sweep. Got short at 80 or 96. Was looking for 87 or something like that. Now we're back at initial balance, slightly below it. Magical 80s still. I mean, the 80s play, man. I'm telling y'all. It's we're just consolidating the 80s now. It's not shocking at all. The next rotation will either be 820 or 920.
Had a 4-lot short up at 98s and evens, and again got spooked out of it.
Yeah, it's hard to fade this. Yeah,
exactly. I was just gonna say.
I wouldn't.
We're not going to stop trading here within a.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Say coming up at 11 o'clock. Don't forget Trade with Hogue. This is going to stop after shoulder tap with Dolby time. So we're going to continue our look at the markets.
What's your how many contracts are you normally getting in, Michael?
I don't know. It's been going up lately, which is nice. Let me see. I'll see what I'm at today. I kind of like being 30 aside, no more than that. But I'm already at 30 aside. 30 buys, 30 sells.
Hey man, sling that size, dude.
Yeah. I don't know if because that's a 4 lot right there. So 4 of them. How many trades?
Well, how many contracts? Like, are you trading 4s typically? Are you
No,
trading 5s?
no. Just every now and then when I see a kind of like that read that you had earlier, where everything kind of lines up, and I'm up money a bit. But one's to dip your toe in the water out of the gate in the morning to get a feel, and then I'll jump up to 2s.
And then occasionally it goes exponential.
And then occasionally it gets up to 15.
Yeah.
But you know what sucks is when you put it on, and John's dad always said this. What's the one when he put it? John, you go with that line.
Moron.
No, that one too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm curious what's going to happen here at 70 if we snap this 80 level. Value area high, wicks get run, right? So a lot of this 79, 80 flat wicks, rotation into liquidity at, I don't know, 73s, 74s. Could be kind of interesting for a potential dip buy, but we're kind of at the part of the day where we really range out.
This is the wall.
Yeah, where we range out.
So playing the range accordingly is important.
Okay, John, can you guys come over to my screen? Because, John, I need you to help me dissect this.
Real quick here, Matthew Page has switched to live cattle and is up $200.
My man.
He's coming for that cowboy hat and chaps. So keep it going, Matthew Page.
All righty.
Giddy up. Giddy up.
Just so, hey, Matthew, just so we're all on the same page, you got yours, don't you?
Oh, yeah, mine's in the back.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Kind of and they started with flat bills, just so everybody knows. At least that's what I was sold at Kemosabi's. And then
Funny
this one's
thing
getting
is,
back.
somebody asked if Matt had a green screen. Well, that's a pretty cool green screen if it is. Everybody wear your cowboy hat.
Yeah, yeehaw, Matthew.
All hat. What is it? What's the saying? All hat.
All hat, no cattle.
Oh, that didn't work.
Hey, look at that one.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, it is. I mean, you walk out your front patio in Austin. That's what you're seeing. That 1 out of every 10, right?
Right. Well, and there's no cars. Everybody's on a horse. So yeah, just normal life.
Drinking mason jar cocktails and
Love it.
tacos. Yeah.
You took it off way too soon. You cannot wear this hat trading the NASDAQ. You'll be a fashion faux pas.
That's the rodeo.
There's this quick sweep through 80.
Sure is.
Andre, if you had to put an outfit on everybody who traded a certain product, what would you say for a NASDAQ trader?
Where'd the hats go?
Oh, probably like, you know how like those super bike, those motorcycle racers, something like that, like a F1 driver suit or something like that with a helmet on because it's freaking nuts.
I don't know. Yeah. I'd say a shiny shirt and going to the club. I don't know.
Oh, you think it's a party? You think you call that a party?
I finally got my hat, and you guys take your
look at them.
Oh, let's put them all on.
I don't have one.
Well, because you're pop culture. You're too much pop culture.
Oh, come on.
Which one of these guys just doesn't belong here? It's Andre.
Yeah, you don't want to see. I've tried it. It just doesn't work.
This hat looks like it's too small for my head.
I care about this area. This is that 70 level I was talking about.
Let's get back to work. Damn you guys for distracting me.
This is the pullback.
I'm
taking 1 here. I wouldn't be shocked to see us rotate a little lower, but
there's got to be some profit taking coming in here somewhere.
Well, John, that's that volume note I needed your help with before we got in the cattle business.
Right
here.
It's down at 842. 842.
There's some stuff.
We just went through one of the low volume nodes.
I'm in early. Yeah, no, I got out early.
I'll be all right, Patron.
What about Patron?
Thank you.
No,
Nick.
I said poor Andre with no hat.
Euro 30-minute close. Just a heads up. Thanks, Dolby Time.
Oh.
I was gonna say, Andre, if you're drinking Patron right now, then you do have the shiny shirt. You should trade the NASDAQ. That's the club.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, that's the club kid drink.
I'm in 2 here. 69s.
And I was just
short.
Long. I'm long. Yeah.
We're diddling in the middle here, guys.
Yeah.
It is a slight diddle in the middle.
It's a diddle in the middle, sort of. Yeah, Andre, they say you need a fedora.
I had one for Halloween.
You did. Blues Brothers.
Yep.
Yes.
John, give me some volume nodes around here. Can we switch to John's screen? Volume profile, shoulders.
All right, here you go.
In the knee of dick.
Let's go big or go home. We just went through this volume node from up above, right?
Yeah.
This ended up not being supportive necessarily. We were looking for this volume shoulder before to look for an opportunity. We almost got there in B period. That's when Matt saw the jump in Delta. Right. On this platform, I can see B Delta ended up being just positive 384 by the end of it.
Okay.
Most of the current Delta, almost as a matter of fact, all of it was in the A period. A period was positive 4,000 Delta. C period, we're starting to see some of that Delta come off. It's negative 1,200. So we do see some more aggressive sellers coming in and trying to push this market lower. So your next volume node for longs is below down here. That's that 42 level.
Okay.
842. You know, this point of control is right here. Which is 50. Well, it just moved because we just put up a new bar here. So
point of control should be at 50.
Is point of control, but is that pretty close to the center of the range? So, well, sort of, not really. But I'm not really doing anything near point of control. I want to get near low of value, which is our low volume here. High of value is up near the high. I'm not using this low volume node anymore. It's been run through too many times.
Andre knows what that means.
What's that?
Absolutely not.
No. Yeah. I think you should. No.
What did I miss?
Oh,
no, the volume nodes. The volume nodes. If you keep going through them, then it's like going through a level, too many times.
Jack, come on, man, help me out here, Jack.
Let's go back to the assless chaps.
That's not a good segue.
Come on. All right, what are we thinking here, MP?
I know what you're thinking. I like the long that Matt has. I like it with a bit of better entry price, but he's looking good thus far.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the.
You've got almost 10 handles into it.
We got Europe coming up here in a half hour, like Eddie just said.
Yeah.
That's what Matt's Matt.
That's trades by Matt.
And that's why I struggle because I bought one when Matt got in. I was getting long too. I got 66s, but I got out right away because I wanted a better price. He stuck with it.
Still a little heavy. I got close. What was it?
It does feel heavy. Yeah. What does that mean? Just so anybody's paying attention. Like, what does heavy mean?
Oh, heavy for me. Heavy. Ripping is going up. Heavy is coming down. So
there you go.
If I say it looks rippy, I think it's going to go up. I think if I say it looks heavy, I think it's a little flushy. Like it's going to floor will fall out.
Floor fall out, and then you're catching a falling knife, or what do they call it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Trader lingo.
All right. Picking bottoms. There's lots of things there that.
Yes, picking bottoms. Picking. Yes.
That's what we're trying not to do is pick tops today.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Good call.
I'm always looking for the on a day like today when it just grinds higher. I'm always after 2:30 looking for the rip to the other direction.
Yep.
But again, you got a lot of patience to wait for that. 4.5 more hours before that.
Long ways away.
So Matt, if you look at the 5-minute and you look at the 30-minute, it looks like it topped out, but then also it's been a trend day up. Right. You're long, you're in the money. How big a move are you looking for right now? Because you could either say I'm really good with this entry if it continues to the upside. Here's where
I'm looking for 10 points.
Okay.
Ish. Okay. Basically retest at the bottom of the range. I think if I was being a little bit more aggressive, I'd probably look for initial balance high, 87.5. Okay. Kind of a magnet in my opinion. But I'm not going to be that aggressive with this time of day where we typically are a little bit more slow, rangy, choppy vibe. Yeah. So look for like 10 points or so. Right now I'm up 3. 3 points.
Oh, JP Rivas passing 2 combines today, the 50K and the 100K.
GG's,
Way to go, JP.
Nice.
GG's, JP.
Double play.
Nice job, JP.
Let's go for the hat trick.
Yo, chat, drop a GG for
Is
JP.
that JP from?
Good job.
Is that JP from group coaching yesterday? Yeah, JP Rivas. Yeah, nice job.
Good job.
Hold on. So group coaching got JP. Did group coaching help you out at all? Let's give a little plug to the group coaching, and if not, don't say anything. Tell us your internet went down.
Here's one. AL Chemist passes trading combine on Topstep X platform.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
I know we're starting to have folks do that. I don't know if we got to find out because of the tilt or because it's such a great damn user experience. Or not a user experience, such a damn ultimate trader experience, because that's what it's supposed to be, is a better experience. So it's just the beginning, guys. Just the beginning. Matt, he doesn't use it, which is totally fine. We're not telling anybody to change. You find out what works for you. You got to be confident in your trading platform.
I just am not executing on it, but I am using.
You're not. Yes,
Right,
there you go.
right.
There you go.
Yeah,
And I was just going to say he's using it for tilt.
Right.
As promised, we said 10 o'clock we're going to send those emails out. CS just got his invite to Topstep X. So check your email, boys and girls. You might be the next 100.
And you'll get an email from us, so you don't have to email us, because it doesn't help you out, move you to the top of the line or anything if you email us. So just get on the wait list.
See JP's response there?
No, what was it?
Come on.
JP Horn, or Hogue is the master of the universe, and Eddie Horn.
Yeah.
Which one?
Hey.
Oh,
Beep, beep.
I agree. I agree.
Masters of the universe.
Phenomenal
I got
cosmic
a little
power.
soundbite on point.
Phenomenal cosmic power in an itty bitty living space.
Here's something here. Sud Harshan is asking, I'm looking at the 15-8 evens. The range after the open is to be about 9 to 800. So the opening longs might be taking out. Is this something that you're seeing, Johnny?
I'm sorry, what's the question again? I apologize.
He's looking at the 15-8 evens, the range after the open,
15.
to be 900 to 800. So is the opening longs, could they be taken out?
I'm really not understanding that question.
Okay. Sud, if you can rephrase that question.
It's just too many numbers.
Too many words.
What's 15, 18 even? I don't.
15-8 even.
Look at that face.
That's
Look at
the
John's face.
NASDAQ.
I'm probably missing something there, but I just not getting the question. Sorry about that.
It feels like it's getting heavy, but
Yeah, it does.
Don't listen to me. This is where the weak ones, like me, go, oh well, and then you start to second guess yourself. So I've been in that slump for a little while, getting myself out of it though.
If you
I get caught in the easy trade, you know. Or
Have you
not
found it
easy
hard to be trading live?
on this?
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Or-
Have
yeah.
you found it hard to be like, you're trading in front of people, I should say?
Yeah, I'll let the other guys answer.
It's different. It's different. That's
Different
for sure.
Yeah.
Taking heat on a position, you've never felt. You can feel the eyeballs of how we got 2,800 people. You can feel the eyeballs when you're taking heat on a position. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Yeah. For me, and then
You got pretty good at it.
And then you just kind of, I'm not saying you get numb to it, but like if you can't explain your trade, then you shouldn't be taking trades live. If you're just one of those guys that look at here, like if you can explain it or have a group of guys or girls, like we have Deanna on here, and she explains it very well.
Yeah, she does.
That's trading. That's me in the pit. I used to be in the pit. Hogue was there. Not in my pit, but Eddie was in my pit. And this is exactly how things would do. You talk it just like that. And then you sit down on the pit floor and play Uno when it was super slow. You know, like we did. We played cards on the ground. And that's just kind of how it was.
All right.
So trading, and we'd trade live in front of other traders right there, and they were like literally. So the pits were trading live. So yeah, I mean it's different.
Yeah, that's true.
You got trolls. You never had that in the pit, right? I mean, Andre, you don't have it in your trading in your prop firm. John, you never had trolls, and if you did, he'd be like, you were at the top step. Yeah,
Of course, there were always people saying, "Hey, nice trade."
yeah.
I wouldn't have taken that if I had to, but they don't know. They, you know, if you're not watching everything you do and keeping track of your position, they
Exactly.
have no idea who you are.
Did you know everyone's position around you when you guys were in the pits?
Sort of. You would know if a broker like John came in there, or Eddie would flag in 1,000 lot into the pit, and I stood next to the broker that he'd flag it into, and then he'd hit everybody on the other side of the pit. 100, and every one of those guys, boom, 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 they're all short. There's no way they were already, long 100, so they're covering. So they're all caught short. To me, that's a tilt. That's on the other side of the pit.
That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the last 100 on that.
No.
No.
Then you get those assholes that be like, whoa, no, I'm off. Because the market just started screaming higher.
You're like, nice try, dude.
Yeah, nice try. You get stuck with it.
And we got time to do a hot streak. Let's see who is streaking El and Fuego.
Let's do it.
There it is again. Oh, look who is leading the pack.
27 days.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Melissa Milano.
John, we can't.
It is
We have to represent.
unchanged since yesterday. Yeah.
It is unchanged. 15,280. I remember that.
Max.
Eric with a double deuce. 2,000. Tommy E. 11,000. Carlos with 7,000. And Blake B. These are the same names from yesterday, if I am not mistaken.
Not quite, though.
No? What do we got?
We lost Mr. 111.48 himself, Daniel B. Finally broken. 20-day losing streak. Sorry,
we did a great job, though. Gosh, 20 days.
New people to the list, I believe, is Carlos, and then Blake reclaimed his spot.
Nice going.
5.
Those are our funded hot streaks.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Hey,
S&P's testing new highs.
Yep.
Speaking of pit, Eddie, did you? We're not going to name names yet, but did you mention at all? We got one of the bigger S&P traders to ever hit the S&P pit.
I have not mentioned that. That is going to be a nice surprise for everybody.
Yeah, really.
Celebrity status. Fun guy to talk to, also. But I'm not sure when we've got this person booked. But yes, he's got great stories behind his career in the S&P pit.
He wasn't fun to trade with, I'll tell you that.
He wasn't fun to trade with, right?
All right, I'm out of that trade. Plus
Nice
400.
trade, Matt. Dude,
Nice job.
Nice job.
That thing ripped.
Yeah.
Hey, John Sud came back with a rephrase of the question. Said the range after CPI from the open is between 15,900 to 15,800. So there is an expectation to take the lows of the open.
So NASDAQ.
Yeah, guys, this is one of the biggest S&P traders. You cannot have your kids in the room when he comes on. Please do not. He will talk like he wants to talk, and we will not be able to beep anything out because it will be because he and his voice. You'll feel the in it, So he's just a cool guy to hear stories from. And man, does he have stories.
I called him up. And I'm like, Lewis, Eddie. He's like, yeah, that's what the phone says. That's what the effing phone says. Bada bing,
I haven't talked to him in years.
I go, hey, what are you doing?
So Sud Harshan, I have no expectations of taking the low of the opening back in the NASDAQ at this time.
Zero shot.
Matt Hoyt, good to see you, buddy. Matt's got a pretty good statistic here. New highs in the S&P futures after 9:30. Typical 95% chance the low is in, and you double range to the upside.
There's that 87.5. I'd be high again. That's that target that I was saying. If I was feeling aggressive, I would want that. But
hell yeah, Matt. Hell of a read. Hell of a read down there. You're up eight. What do we call them?
885.
8 stacks. Is that 8? No, 8 Benjamins.
Benjis.
Benjis.
That's funny.
Nobody's fadeable today, so that's good.
Sorry, we couldn't help you out there.
Yeah, sorry, could help you fading trolls out there.
It's funny looking at my screen on y'all's deal because my DOM, I have it cut off obviously because my face goes here on my stream.
Yeah,
and so it's funny seeing just the way it looks like on an actual screen when it's wrong.
It's got underwear that says that.
Hell yeah,
back up an IB.
EMM. EMM. They got a Topstep X. Hell yeah. You have 3 XFAs on Topstep X.
Here goes NASDAQ.
Boosting.
Hey, EMM, are you using the tilt? Help us out. Are you using the tilt on Topstep X, and has it helped you at all? And then let's get back to the markets.
Delta. Yeah. John, am I looking at this right? Delta's congruent with the direction right now?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
S&P Delta is a positive 15,000 right now.
Nice read, Andre.
I'm learning.
NAS as well. So I love playing a Delta divergence on my 22 range chart. We've seen it a few times. We saw it up at the highs.
Can we show it? Show it to us? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me pull up my Delta also so you can see it better. That looks good. So my community, we call it a ligma. I don't know. It's just like a fun name for a Delta divergence. But basically,
Delta ligma's been all day?
Oh, yeah. Is it
that's because of you?
Are they ripping it up in the chat?
Yeah,
they're ripping it up in the
I thought
chat.
it was the joke.
No. It is a joke. It's a joke because it's the name of my one of my strategies. But yeah, it's called a ligma.
We were all wondering.
Yeah. So
What's the
Dolby,
acronym
we
stand
found
for?
out, dude.
I don't know if you know why. Yeah, it's a ligma, right? Because if you get into the
All right,
train,
thanks
you
for that.
can walk around all puff chest. But
Yeah. Okay, sorry, go on.
so
I don't know what a ligma is.
you don't.
What's it stand for?
Stop.
All right. Well, you can Google it.
Hold on. Go ahead. I want to see this. I opened up my screen to get an understanding so I can zoom in on your screen.
That's why we ban people. Okay.
Oh, don't ban them for saying ligma.
It's like Ramunda.
So anyways,
Yeah.
Delta or price makes a new high, right? So you have a swing high on price. On my 22 range is when I look at
That's
the
what
ligma.
it is.
You have swing high, and then you see price make a new high, right? And in this case, this was the sweeping action above 900 that me and Michael took short on. And Delta wise, you see Delta made a new high, right? And then now as we get a new swing high, Delta makes a new low. And then as we get the actual sweep above 900 with the liquidity sweep, stop sweep, 900 cycle level sweep, etc., you see Delta no longer making new highs. That to me is a nice Delta divergence, good for a short. And then you see the same thing here at the lows, basically. We've seen it a few times today. The other one was up here at the open sometime. Oh, right around here, yeah. So we had price makes a new high, Delta getting flushed, right? Good for a little slap. But that's my ligma strat.
That was too funny. That's great.
Nice to know that it. I mean, you're seeing it and using it successfully in the Nasdaq. I haven't been able to do that, but I don't.
Yeah, well, and again, I only used a Delta divergence like that on a very, very low time frame chart. I don't use it on a 1 minute chart. I only use it on the 22 range because it's giving me that really granular look at what market participants are doing with price action, like true price action, not time-based price action. I don't look at it on the 5 minute or anything like that. I don't think there's any validity there. But on something like this, it's very easy to see kind of strength of buyers.
30 minutes.
Okay, that's helpful, especially also the definition Google gave me for ligma.
Yeah.
Patak's loving this.
The ligma came because I was making fun of there's a bunch of people out there in the trading world who name their own strats when at the end of the day most strategies are recycled. Like we're all trading somewhat of the same concepts, right? Like
pretty much
we're either using you're using a TPO chart, you're using value areas and volume profile, you're using order flow, whatever it is. At the end of the day, we're all looking at price over time, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So, supply and demand at the end of the day.
Right. So exactly. Buyers and sellers. So I was making fun of the Enigma. And so I was like, someone named it the Enigma. So I said, okay, we'll just name it the Ligma.
Matt, not gonna lie, man. We were wondering in our Slack channel, are we getting got with this Ligma thing? It kept scrolling through the chat all day today. Finally,
Yeah,
that's great.
I would have mentioned it earlier, but I don't have the YouTube chat up. I'm taking this as my nice day to not worry about a chat. So
Don't. Yeah.
Well,
Actually, they're loving you. Actually,
We'll put your YouTube chat up for you guys. Not your YouTube chat. We'll put your YouTube link up. So anybody who wants to know more about the Ligma strategy, tune in. Tune in. Hey, Eddie, I would have thought you would have came up with something when he said TPO strategy. I figured you come up with something pretty quick on that one.
all right.
Yes.
Eddie on the spot.
My God, man. We got time here for speaking of yesterday and Ligma. Yesterday's best who weren't using Ligma. Let's take a look at what we got for yesterday's best.
I trade Ligma.
We had bets going yesterday when I told them that I was going in here. They were like, "What are the odds that you actually bring up Ligma?" And I was like,
Yeah.
0.
Oh, God.
But here we are.
1,000% now. It's all over the chat.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yesterday's best, the Express funded account, Jordan with 20K. You know, I really think tomorrow, yesterday's best, we're going to see some bigger numbers.
Oh yeah.
Just with today. Huanyu with 15K. Here's our buddy Hughes B.
Hughes.
Oh, good to see.
13 in the live account.
Live.
And
Nice.
Gary
Snowball.
G. Yeah, that's not Gary Gilmore. 9,991 and David Nivens with 8,693. David N. Well done, traders. Well
Nice
done.
numbers.
Hell yeah.
Nice numbers.
That's some good trading. The Hughes, just so Matt, I don't know if you've been following. Have you been seeing Hughes is since TopstepTV started was many moons ago. Each one of those are a post-it note for a day. I think he's on here every other day. Feels like it. And so we bring up those that are absolutely crushing it to our live accounts. You know, go figure. TopSteps has been putting people live for 13 years. And we do it on ones that are kicking ass. They're trading prop money.
I just pulled up the YouTube chat, and I just
What do you
see
got?
so many people talking about the Ligma.
Oh,
and
yeah,
a bunch
man.
of other
From the beginning, dude.
bunch of other bogus things. We talked about the 7th leg strat. I was making fun of people who count waves. No offense if you count waves. All good. You do you. But I was making fun of the fact that this is the 7th leg. Just a massive moon shot up.
I mean, if Ligma stays a part of our Ligma strategy stays a part of our conversations, that's the the end goal of what we got out of today, Matt.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's some merch ideas for the Ligma strats that.
You watch Barstool do this kind of thing, and then we're always like, I think we're switching shops that we use so we can come up with this stuff and bang it out and put it up there really quickly,
Yeah.
and then people can buy.
I need some stress balls. If you want to sell Ligma stress balls, I will. My whole community will. I will buy them. My whole community will buy them. Ligma stress balls.
And I'll do it.
If you want stress balls, just go back to bullfighting.
Yeah. It's kind of heavy down here at 70s. I wouldn't be shocked if we kind of sweep the lows.
I'm just thinking, man. I'm thinking about taking a short.
Yeah,
too.
I think it
Profit
looks
taking
heavy.
into the
Delta
Euro
looks
close.
heavy to me. We rejected IB. And like I was saying earlier, I wouldn't be shocked for us to rotate initial balance today, just after that CPI move. So it's just about being patient today, more than anything, in my opinion.
100%.
It's very easy. Today's like today, or where you get chopped up to oblivion if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of opportunity as well if you're actually going to be kind of rangy.
Would you say? Well, not in the S&P. It's definitely not rangy, but and it's kind of trended higher. But to me, would you consider this a trend day up?
I mean, technically, right? We're at 2%,
Yeah.
but I would not call the last 2 hours trending personally.
Yeah.
I think
What would you call it then?
I think we're ranging for the most part. I mean, we've been in a range. If you want to look at it, we've been in somewhat of a range since 850.
Is it good word for drifting higher?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a little
I
slow.
agree.
you're talking
NASDAQ is range bound.
Yes.
S&Ps.
Thank you.
S&P's do not look
moving
great.
higher.
I don't watch the S&Ps right now, so I
Okay.
have no idea. I'm strictly talking about the NAS. And
Yeah,
the
we're
NAS
talking
is
about the
100%
NAS, I guess.
rangy.
Yep.
So,
Gotcha.
And here's the sweep. I think we sweep these lows. I think we go rotate 50s, maybe even the overnight highs, 40s.
I have a volume node, pretty big volume node down in the 17s, 15s, 10s, 810s, 815s.
I mean, if we actually break the opening range low, then I would look for a full fade of CPI, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
Oof,
Oh, full fade. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it gets aggressive. Like there was no volume that was conducted there, right? So it's going to move quick.
Tilt is getting to the 60% on NASDAQ, which is not too much, but I'd say the 63s to 68%.
I'd love to see him get heavy short.
Yeah, me
I'd
too.
love to see that.
Be careful though, Andre, because on a heavy short, sometimes it does rip a little bit further, especially after a pullback.
What should I do? Time it, or just get the good entry, or let this sell off play out?
I think you borrow Hoag's chicken bones and seance notebooks.
All right, good talk. Good talk.
I would love to see 20 trade.
I would too.
That would be very ideal in my opinion.
Yep.
820s off of the 880 IB high. That would be that 80-20 rotation. I think that would look very good. We got a decent volume down there.
Yep.
But it's gonna be hard to do it in the next. I mean, we're like entering lunch chop.
Yeah. Hey guys, put Matt's YouTube back up there. We'll drop the wait list.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, you're fun. You're fun to trade with.
Yeah, you're good.
I love it. I used to trade with people a lot. Way back in the day. Like this is like 2018 when I first started streaming.
You were the first streamer.
I took a break after this, but like I would trade in a Discord with a bunch of people, and I used to do that a lot. And then when I started my actual like stream, I stopped trading with people, and it's been fun to kind of. Obviously, I shoot the shit with my chat, but it's been fun to do it with actual people.
Right. Melt up. Chris George Michael's calling this the melt up. I know you used that term before.
I think if you look at it from the CPI open, yeah. Because remember we were talking about the melt up when all that
when was
GameStop, AMC, everybody's like thought they were God's gift to trading back a couple of years ago or whatever. And remember, Andre, we'd have so many arguments, and finally we're like, "Yep, keep trading just like that." Just the new folks that were our buddies that were then all of a sudden like great traders.
They were experts all of a sudden.
Experts. You're like, okay. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them are stuck on the highs.
Yo, chat. If you're watching, like we got 2,400 people. We're at 1.2. Press the thumbs up button. Enjoying the stream. Let's get to 1,500.
And then go over to Matt's YouTube and subscribe over there too. You're all about Ligma.
All right, hey Matt, what are you seeing in the Nasdaq right now? Are we? Is this still the range?
I think we flushed these lows. Like I said, I really love the concept of wicks get run, and so every time we start having like a bunch of like clear stop spots. So right now 60, right? 861, 862. Yeah. We're getting slapped off of it over and over again. I think we run that level. Delta looks super heavy. To me, I don't know if y'all are looking at my screen or not.
No, okay, I'm following.
So Delta looks super heavy. So I would imagine that I don't know when, but I would imagine that we sweep this 60 level right here. I think we sweep this with Delta looking pretty heavy. And then the next spot that would make sense is obviously 10 points lower, point of control. But then even the 40s. And then like I was saying, I want to see 20 trade, but I don't want to get into a trade short here, you know? It is diddling in the middle, as
it is diddling in the middle.
Said. So tough spot, but I do think that we probably sweep these lows. I don't know where the tilt is at.
50. I mean, it's getting a little heavier short.
Yeah, I just
the Nasdaq, the S&P is saying a totally different story.
It really has, John.
Yeah.
Well, both are up 2.05% right now. But they got there in different manners.
And again, like we're talking about, like when I'm saying sweep the lows, I'm talking about like a 10-point sweep, right?
For sure,
5 to 10-point sweep. So it's like, yeah, the S&P's, rocking and rolling, crude oil's rocking and rolling, whatever. But like, I'm looking for a micro sweep at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea.
But it appears that me and Michael should have held our shorts.
Yeah, we took literally barely any heat.
Yep. That
Barely
was the short of the session so far.
But then, Matt, like how hard? That's where I changed my style. Now I'm like, oh, you asked if I hold trade. Somebody asked, I think it was you, if I hold trades throughout the day. And I'm like, no, I'm looking for these moves and then the setup. And then I will peel a couple off and keep one as a runner if I'm up. That's when I do a runner. It's usually like with a 1 or 2 lot ending. If I started with a 4, I'll go take one off. Yeah. And when I do that, Matt, in psychologically, well, not psychologically, actuality, it puts my entry level higher. Sorry, my break even higher. So if I sold evens, yeah. And then I'm like, it's never even made a high above 03s today. What was it, 03s? Yeah. And if I would have taken a couple off down to like the 90s and the 80s where it was, then your break even's literally probably up at the 10s or 12. Right, and then that's when I'll throw a runner on and let it sit. And then those either turn out to be really really nice days. Or still a positive, still second best, winning day. Right.
So right now we just got point of control volume.
Oh, here's the 150 lot. Sorry, there's a 150 lot, Matt, that just traded out at 69.
Yeah,
offer.
Okay. Volume just moved up into the middle of the session. To me, at this point, I'll be looking for like value area rotations. As long as point of control is like dead center of the session, it's very rotational in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. I just I definitely will not be taking a trade here. I can tell you that.
No, fiddle in the middle.
I do like when we have like a very clean, even split. I think we rotate a lot, and I like to see those green to red rotations, or off into IB, because value area is a little higher than IB right now, so we'll call it IB instead, IBH. I still want to see a sweep this level though. I don't know.
John, we might be waiting for that 230 trade.
Right.
230 train? I thought you said that.
230 trade. 230 trade. We'll go sideways, then we'll come off. We'll go in the opposite direction, like going into the close, right? Profit taking, or people, right, John? Where does that come from? I always thought it was profit taking.
Yeah, usually it is.
Okay.
Yeah, unless there's some sort of news event that changes the situation, but.
Hey, can we do this really quick? I see a lot of people asking about free resets. I just want to understand this. It's kind of like a transparency thing. If we didn't do fire drill and reset, would you tune in? Can we do a poll? Just fair enough. I just want to understand. If we didn't do fire drill and resets, would you tune in to Topstep TV? It's like 80% of them said no.
I can't wait to see how this one comes back. Like, no, we're going to...
I would actually be kind of interested in a long here, 850, if we do get the sweep with Delta holding up. That would be prior point of control.
A poll, there it is. If we did not do fire drills and give away resets, would you still tune into Topstep TV? I'm going to click no.
I say it's at least 65% yes. That's my guess. It's like a value area special situation play, 65% of the time.
There you go.
If it's not 100%, I'm going to crawl into a little fetal position.
Don't do that.
No, cry, man.
Paramedics
hard work into this, man. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not even sure I could get into a fetal position anymore.
All right, fair enough. We got the answer. You can kill the poll. 84% of you said yes, you would. So thanks, guys.
I love you. I love you all.
That's what we wanted to hear.
And we will continue to do fire drill and give away resets or magic potion
and love.
Man, I want the NAS to flush this into 50.
You
really
sure
quick.
do, Matt.
Oh God, I'm getting impatient.
Yeah, you're talking yourself into this trade.
Man, I'm not going to take it right now, but I want the 50s bad. 40 to 50.
Well, go to my chart really quick because I see this volume node down here. It feels like 40 to 50. There you go. 47. Is that what you're seeing?
Sorry, I was not looking.
Jump over to So you got this volume. It starts to go low volume node right about here, the 40s.
Yep.
So we got overnight highs at 40. We got value area low at 40. We got prior point of control at 50. Cycle level at 50. So that's why I'm looking at the 40s, 50s personally.
Yeah. So here's your 50s down to 40s. All right. But then if you want to go this higher volume nodes, you're getting down to the 13s or the 20s. Who was saying? I think you were saying I want to see you get to 20 too. So
right,
I like both. I like both of those levels.
Yeah. I think the 20s would be sick. And that would be if we do not hold overnight highs, obviously, 40s.
Sick.
but I'll be waiting to see kind of what Delta does.
Why do you look at Delta so much, Matt? What is it telling you for the people out there? What is it? What's the story that it's presenting with the Delta?
Delta. So I'm looking at cumulative Delta. So it is the net change in buyers versus sellers. So net change in buyers versus sellers is telling me just that. Like, what's the where's the teeter totter on buying versus selling happening, right?
Yep.
So at any given price, right, you're going to have people who are market buying versus market selling. And I should say that's market. So market buyers versus market sellers. So like right now, my Delta is super heavy. So we got people market selling this.
Essentially, it's telling you who's in control in the moment, right?
Yeah, and then you pair it with the DOM, right? You pair it with liquidity on the DOM and what makes sense from a trading perspective, right? Like you can't just look at it blindly necessarily, but like when you take some concepts of like, this is how the market moves typically. And so like I've seen this play out 20 times, right? So if I've seen it play out 20 times, I can say, okay, when we sweep the lows like this, we typically get a lot of market sellers to actually continue to move down, whether it stops or whatever happening.
That's a product of screen time, hours and hours and hours of screen time.
Right. Yeah. A lot of screen time. But I love Delta. I don't really enjoy Delta on the S&P or crude oil for that matter. I really just like it on the NAS. And I think, again, it comes down to what you just mentioned of like, I've spent, I don't know how many, a stupid amount of hours watching the NASDAQ, right? So just accustomed to how it works. We ran those wicks, so I don't know if we're going to get any lower, to be honest. I hope we do, but I don't think we're going to.
Got hope going, huh?
Yes.
Got Rico Griffin. I like that name. We'll definitely tune into Topstep TV. I learn a lot from you guys. Keep it up.
Thank you, Rico. Keep watching.
Rico.
Hey, Daruma trade. Lean hogs move so slow. We got a cattle trader in here now, and I think we have a lean hog trader in here now.
Get yourself.
What do you get for?
Quicker.
What do you have to wear if you trade lean hogs?
Oh,
wheel there, little piggy.
All right, we got starting to get some shorts coming in there on the NASDAQ, starting to grow to 63-ish%. We'll see if that continues to grow. Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little flush like Matt's looking for.
Oh, yeah, you and Matt.
Yeah, I think it kind of happened.
Did it? That was it?
From what I see, for a little while, that was it, yeah.
Okay.
So then that's 57s.
Yeah, I wanted more, but it didn't happen.
10 handles off 57 right now. So if you're holding the perfect 57 low, you're only 10 handles into the money.
All right.
So, Matt, can I show you
Absolutely.
kind of another way to look at Delta?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Me too, man.
If you look at this, if you look at my screen. So this was one of those days where the opening range was the low of the session. We had a gap in the market, rotated basically higher the better part of the day. This Delta zeros on the open. So the Delta for the day session only continued strong to push to the downside while price continued to push to the upside. So if this was a day where I was long the opening range and I'm seeing this Delta getting deeper and deeper as price continues to either hold or push higher, I'm holding on to that trade.
Yeah, that's what that slow grind to the upside that I was describing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I would see that exact same thing on the 22 range chart. And that's what I was looking for earlier, where it's like super, super negative Delta for at least for my chart. Every time you push new highs with Delta being super negative like that, it is like a full trend day to the upside from what I've seen historically.
Now look at where price has gone to since the longer time frame. And this is what that Delta says to me is we've got shorter time frame market order traders hitting bids that are placed by longer time frame traders.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, one more time, John.
When Delta is negative and there's a divergence, as in price either holds or moves higher with negative Delta, that's telling me that there's a probability that there's longer time frame participants in the market that day that are just placing bids and picking up everything that the short time frame traders will sell them.
Interesting.
So it's like standing in the trading pit and then watching Goldman and all the big brokerage firms buy 2,000 at a time from all the locals. Eventually, all those locals are going to be so short that they're going to basically have to run over each other to try and get out of those trades.
Yes.
Right.
So this is where that all started, right there. What's the low of that bar? The low is 43.58 quarter. The next day, value doesn't move. It's an inside day, but we also have Delta negative on a market that's not moving. So then we come and we start pushing higher. We get a pullback. Where to? Where the buyers started coming in here. Right down to it. Next day, off to the races to the upside. And now, again, off to the races to the upside. So
is that green line on your chart point of control?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, these lines here.
Yeah, like on the bottom there where we rounded out on I don't know.
Right here.
Yeah. I just was looking at that green line.
Yeah, volume point of control.
Okay. Yeah, sick.
It's volume point of control. So, the market told us that there were buyers here. It continued to show buying here in longer time frame. Market looks higher, pulls back right to where they started, holds. So there's no adjustment there. And now you see what the market's doing. It's almost like they knew, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I just thought it would be interesting, and hopefully that's something that everybody can kind of take notice of and use. I love the fact that you use Delta.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see that because like I am so scalpy, right? Like I'm not looking at anything big or like even contemplating stuff like that. And at the end of the day, like I'm 100% self-taught. And just like from what I've got with buddies in Discord and stuff, tossing ideas back and forth. So I love love some more info like that because that's how I learn. How we all learn, man. That's the beauty of this thing.
Well, I can show you next time you're here, Matt. I'm gonna draw you to come back. I can show you an example in gold, where open interest in Delta, kind of, if you were long, in 2 weeks the market moved 200 points, and it was signaled by an increase in Delta and negative Delta, an increase in open interest, I should say, and negative Delta every day.
Wow.
Buyers were just coming in and just running over any short sellers.
Yeah, they were.
I'm looking for short sellers to get run over.
Gold is like my arch nemesis. I've never had I don't think I've ever had a profitable trading session trading gold.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I've only done it like 3 or 4 times and I was like, I don't like it.
I've traded it like 3 or 4 times this year, but it has to be very specific situations, and I'm not touching it while we're doing this. It's just too much to deal with. It's just too much to try and digest while we're doing all of this.
Yeah, there's a few things. I've never traded the Dow. I've traded the Rusty one time.
Rusty.
I've always just traded the Nas or crude.
Mm-hmm.
Every January, I'm like, this is going to be the year that I trade the S&P more. Literally like clockwork. And then I trade,
what happens?
I traded for like 3 weeks, and I fall asleep at my trading desk, and I'm like, all right, back to the spaz stack.
My New Year's resolutions usually last a couple of days, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we are way past our.
Ooh, we are.
Gap. But let's get Brett on. We're going to take a couple minutes here, time out. We'll get Brett on, and Matt, you're more than welcome to stay, my friend. Great stuff. I really enjoyed being with you today.
Yeah, it was great, guys.
Are you staying on, Matt? Or are you going to cut out? What do you got?
Whatever. I don't know. I don't have any plans. I was gonna leave.
Go to coffee break. Laundry. I got to start dinner. I got to
I'm here.
Well, we have tap on the shoulder. So if we want to make it, I know we're coming to the top of the hour. If we want to make that transition, we can do it now. Matt, loved having you on here, guys. Follow Matt up on the very top. Called a lot of great shots, and just like any trader would, you can see them. Sometimes you're not always going to hit them, but he saw every bird that flushed out, and got a good a few of them. So Matt, great trading.
Great trading.
Come on, guys.
I'm holding on to your long right now, since you said we would probably put the floor in here. So I got a Matt position on right now, long from two guy from 63, 57 was the low. So if it kind of takes a run, Matt, I'm going to give you credit for it.
Hey,
but other than that, I had a blast with you, dude. This is awesome.
Dude, it's super fun. Andre, good to see you. Hug. Eddie.
Always, man. Yeah. Always. That was awesome.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. See y'all.
Cool. Later, guys.
All right, it's going to take a few seconds here, and we'll be right back with Brett and Shoulder Tap.
Here we go. Tap on Brett's shoulder. Actually, no, you've been tapping on all of our shoulders because we've been trading. So while you were away, Brett, Andre's up money now on the day. I'm up money now on the day. I caught that long. This is a Matt Miller TBM trade that I just had on. So Matt, if you're still paying attention or listening, tuning in, thank you. So Brett, welcome. What's up?
Love to hear it. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and love hearing that we're getting good trades put on. It's all we want.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Who do we
looking on the risk side today, Brett?
Yeah, good call.
We're looking good. We got a bunch of traders making some money today. They're doing well. We've got a few traders that are learning some lessons. And I know from the lessons that I've learned as a trader, the market doesn't give them away for free, unfortunately.
Nope.
But the name of the game is limiting the cost of those lessons.
I like that. And I think, Andre, you always said you shouldn't have to pay such a high tuition to learn how to trade. And that's when we started Topstep 13 years ago.
That's because we did pay a high tuition.
That's because we did. And like, you can get it now for $49, and that pays for like pretty much the cost of things plus some. But way different than the $90,000 I lost. It just got evaporated in my brokerage account when I first started trading. So
yeah,
tell me about some lessons that you're going to share with us that you're seeing that we can all learn from as well from other traders trading.
Absolutely. And one thing to further on what you were saying about, in your case, the losing $90,000, but I tons of friends that were like, hey, Brett, you're making a pretty comfortable living trading. How do I start doing it? My response was standard. Get 2 years of living expenses if you're going to plan on doing it full time, which is the best way to give yourself the best opportunity to succeed in the markets.
100%.
And then fund your trading account and consider it basically learning money, where you may lose it all. And that may be time to go back into what I would consider the real world. But trading is a great place. We've got some great traders to talk about today.
Cool.
The first one is Dannon. Dannon is in an Express funded account, and they've been a Topstep member since 2023. The thing I really like about Dannon is their average P&L is just shy of 1,200 with 83% winning days. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I would say to Dannon is there are other clip sizes other than 6 lots. You don't have to do 6 contracts. You can do 1 6 times to get in or to get out. You can scale in and out. However, your P&L tells a great story. Another thing that I really like to see is your average win is over $1,300. Your average loss is just over $400. And you're winning on 50% of those trades. That spread is immaculate. It is what you want to get. And that's why you're at a daily P&L of $1,200. In addition to that, you've taken almost 5,100 in payouts. Your average contracts per day at just 29. I love to see that. Your selectivity with the trades is great. And the average trade hold time is just shy of 10 minutes for both winners and losers.
Oh, nice.
And really, as